Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob, and we're here doing a little episode. I don't know what this is. I don't know. I want to do so many things, but then I don't. I don't know. But this is called Rob's Coffee, Crowdfunding, and Chat, where it's going to be like, so far, it's going to start with kind of like unscripted. We kind of just go with the flow. What this is like, when you're like working in an office environment or, on a job, I know some of you guys do this, and sometimes there's just some projects that you're not too interested in. You're on the team working on them, but like you have your daily stuff to deal with. You have more priority stuff that keeps the company running, going, your day is full. But then there's these projects your boss threw you on and you're working on, and there's like 10 other people working on them and they care more about the project and you don't. And then you're just like, man, I need to do this though. Like I need to do my part on it. I need to work on it. It's something I'm like still kind of interested in. I should do it. And that to me is crowdfunding. And that to me is like yeah, basically that is like looking at the crowdfunding side of board gaming. There was a time where I was hot and excited about it and it was cool, and then I just got like tired of it and it just wasn't interesting me at all. So I kind of just left it. I stopped showing up to meetings. But then I decided, like, okay, let's get this project done. Let's get it back on the table. Let's talk about it. Let's get involved. So, like, you start showing up to those meetings, those weekly meetings to like work on that project and get involved in that project. So I'm kind of doing a 180 on it here. I've decided, like, the best way for me to keep up on crowdfunding is to like schedule something and like carve out the time and stick to it. And sometimes like setting deadline dates or committing to those meetings or taking on action items that you have to do by a certain time, you will just get involved. Okay? So that's what I'm doing to myself here. That was my theory. That was part of this. The other part is the Q&As. I lose track of time like nobody's business. I forget what day of the week it is all the time because I just go by what stream is next. And I just schedule things around other things, and I just wake up and I go, what stream is today? What stream's tomorrow? What stream's the next day? I don't care what day they're on, what time they're at. I just need to know, like, what day is the stream at? And that's kind of how I roll. So I figured if I put a stream in there, then I will get involved in some of this stuff. So the Q&As, I kind of forget, how long has it been? I need to just schedule them like a month out. The problem on YouTube, you schedule something a month out, it gets lost in your like upload track and all this kind of stuff. So after we're done streaming a video that I scheduled a month in advance, it just gets lost because all the other streams or videos that I've done after that, they will all show up first when someone comes to my YouTube page or whatever. So it's weird. I don't know if they fixed that, but that was something that used to happen. So what I've started doing is only scheduling streams like a week out tops. So that's why I don't schedule the Q&As, because I could schedule like the next two or three, but is YouTube going to recommend them at the time when they're going live? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And then you guys might miss them too. So this way I can chat with you guys more and do more of a Q&A kind of relaxed. Like, this is a two-way stream, this one. This is not me learning a game or finding something cool and I want to show you guys, and I've done some work behind the scenes. I'm going to start doing that, and I did some this morning, but this is more like also just you guys talking to us. So instead of when we don't, Q&As were supposed to be this, and they still are. Q&As are a way like you guys can ask us questions, tell us about games, talk about whatever off topic. That way our live streams, when we're playing a game or learning a game or people are joining in and we're talking about a game or we're all hyped about something related to that game, the off-topic questions, which do come up and they're fine, a couple of them during a stream is totally cool, but sometimes people leave comments like, oh, you went off topic for 20 minutes and it took you forever to get into the game because you went off topic about something not even related. So I've tried to stop doing that over the years, but I still do it. It's like I do what I want kind of thing. But I figured I'd save that stuff for Q&As, but then it's like Q&As only happen once every month, once every 3 months, once every 5 months, that kind of thing. So it's like I want to get those back on a regular schedule, but this will help with that. So I will be able to chat about things more relevant. I don't have to wait a month. I don't have to tell somebody who comes in a stream and brings up a cool game that's ending in 3 days on Kickstarter or whatever. I don't have to say, I'll talk about it in the Q&A in 3 weeks, or like next month or something. I can say, all right, we'll talk about it this week on, Rob's Coffee, Crowdfunding, and Chat. So this was like the theory, was this stream is a way like, once a week or once every couple weeks. I'm going to try it. It might not stick. We'll see how it goes. But it's just a place to chat about these things like two ways. So you guys can bring up things that are like off topic to like all the streams we're doing all week, you know. And then I can bring up things. We talk about anything board gaming industry related. We'll look up crowdfunding projects, new game releases, stuff that I backed in the past. What's the deal with that? Like, when's it coming? These kind of things that I usually set it and forget it for Kickstarters. I back Kickstarters and I literally just don't care. Emails come in my inbox with updates. I just ignore them. Half of them I delete. I don't even open them. I just don't care. So now I probably should read them because a lot of companies are asking for more money for shipping or else I don't get my game and stuff. So I probably should start reading those, but that's maybe something I can do here too, is kind of keep up to date on my Kickstarters that I have backed and my crowdfunding campaigns and games I pre-ordered outside of these crowdfunding campaigns and stuff like that, just to see what's going on. And also with that, then I will kind of know what's coming to the channel and when, and what I want to play on the channel and what I don't, and that kind of stuff. So kind of keep you guys apprised of like what I'm hoping to play soon if it arrives at my door and that kind of stuff. But this is just why I scheduled the stream. I pushed the stream off. I wanted to schedule the stream like 3 weeks ago, and every week I just went, I don't know what to call it. I don't know what to talk about. I feel it has to be structured, but then I was like, maybe it doesn't. So I just scheduled this one. So it's just going to be me chatting for a couple hours with you guys. We'll look up some things. If there's anything interesting you guys want to talk about or look up, we can look it up, that kind of thing. But we'll just do this for a couple hours just to get us started. And then so I like start showing up to those meetings again, you know, and then it becomes more of a regular thing. And then I'll like, you know, do a little prep. Anything I notice during the week that's interesting, I'll make note of it. We'll discuss it in these streams so that we're not so behind on things. Any interesting crowdfunding campaigns we can look at instead of sometimes I do those ones, I've been doing them for years, those ones where like, you know, a project really interests me, so I'll schedule a stream an hour before the launch and we'll get all hyped for it and we'll look into it and I decide whether I back it or not and that kind of stuff. Now I don't have to wait so long for those. So if something is happening like around that time, you know, maybe I'll still do those streams, obviously for the projects I'm really passionate about. But the other ones we can just look at on this stream, you know, and then there's a place for that where I don't feel like I have to set up a whole new stream and find a time for it in the week. I could just always peg this stream in there and it's a place for that. So that's my theory. So this is me just scheduling an office meeting that I didn't originally want to really go to, but I'm sure it'll turn out great and we'll have fun and we'll make it something cool. But that's me. That's me being honest. So it's me going to be pumping caffeine into myself, which I did a little bit this morning, but then I realized 2 coffees now have gone completely cold, about 75% full, while I was trying to put scenes together, look up information, figure some things out, so we had stuff to kick it off. But as I learned with the Q&As, you guys always have stuff to talk about too, so I'm not the only one at this meeting. We're also having this meeting offsite at our local cafe here, just so you guys know, and I don't work here, so don't ask me for any drinks. You have to ask the lady at the counter over there. So I'll give you guys a minute if you need to go get some caffeine. And if you see me drinking out of any Tim Hortons, which is a coffee shop based out of based out of the US, I should say, owned by a Brazilian company, used to be Canadian, not anymore. I used to work there at their head office and everything. And because of that, I would get these mugs like on a weekly basis, you know. You do something nice for the warehouse guys, they give you a bunch of mugs. You work there, you know, every year, they give you mugs. You go to a holiday party, they give you mugs. Like, I have so many mugs from Tim Hortons, and I do love them. So you may see that on the stream, but I'm not sponsored by them. I don't even put their coffee in these mugs. So full disclosure. But yeah, there you go. So I'll just be drinking out of different mugs. So yeah, there you go. So, let's scroll up and chat. Chat's already flying. I don't know what you guys are doing here. I haven't really looked. Let's see. So Jot's teasing how many Kickstarters he's walking around. He's one of those guys that's like trying to compare how big his you know, his thing is. And by thing, I mean his amount of Kickstarters he's backed, thinking that it's something to be proud of. Me, on the other hand, I don't know if that's how it is, you know. He might have that syndrome, you know, where, you know, guys buy the bigger cars, you know. They work out a lot just because they're making up for other things. So hopefully that's not what Sajat's doing with the amount of Kickstarters he backed, because I don't think you should be bragging about that. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's see here. Guys are funny. Sajat says, I want to do so many things, but then I don't. Rob the efficient worker. Yeah, it's like, I here's the thing. This is the way I say it is like, uh, I when I was working in IT, there's priorities, right? You only have so much time, then there's work-life balance. So I only have so much effort to give in a day, and I'll put effort on important things. But then the balance part, the mental stability part is I got to do something in the day also that interests me, something I'm passionate about. So now that I'm doing this full time, doing streams, learning games, just like, I'm semi-retired is kind of how it is. I told myself I don't want to get into the hamster wheel, right? I don't want to go to things just because I have to go to them. I don't want to do them just because I have to do them. If that's the case, this whole channel would be me asking publishers, send me your half-done prototypes. I would be so happy in playing them, and I'd be so excited. Call to the new. I would never play anything more than half a scenario. I would be reading rule books live on stream, trying to figure out games as I go because I have to just get them done and move to the next thing. I would be playing kids games on the channel. I'd be playing games that don't even have rule books in my language. I'd be just on to the next thing, on to the next thing. And I don't want to do that. I didn't want to get in that hamster wheel. I didn't want to be like everybody else. I want to do something that's passionate. I want to do something that interests me. Maybe it is similar to something what someone else does, but I don't want that to be intentional. I'm just doing my own thing. So that's what I want to do when I took this on. Was the whole idea was get out of the environment where I'm like forced into doing things that I feel are a waste of time and are useless, and do things that are passionate that I feel personally are important or I think there's value to them. And that's where that comes from. It's not about like, I want to do this and then I just lose interest, and I don't want to force myself into doing videos or projects that I'm just not interested in. Sometimes it's just because I get busy with other things, I get distracted, and then I totally forget like an idea I had. I write these down. I'm like, I'm going to start doing this type of video. And then like, I'm going to do it next week on this day. And then that day comes, but then this other game showed up on the day before. And I'm like, oh, I want to learn that game. I want to play that game. I want to read about that game. Oh, there's a Kickstarter coming up that I never heard of. Well, I'm excited about that now. I want to go talk about it and do that and back it and research it and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's hard to plan when like I have no idea what all the publishers in the industry are doing. I don't know about every game, that kind of thing. So it's hard for me to schedule around all that stuff. But that's what I mean by that. It's not like I'm just not efficient. And yes, there is a prioritization thing, but like, yes, I could get very scheduled and very hardcore and try to like churn it out. But I don't know, this whole YouTube burnout thing, I went through it once. I don't want to go through it again. So yeah, I'm kind of careful with that too. Like mental health is a serious thing. So I know you're joking around, it's a job, but that's kind of like, I don't know if I'm explaining it properly, but yeah. And I'm open here. We're chatting, we're open, we're going to talk about, whatever. So I'm not afraid to talk about it. And that's just what we'll do. Dale says, I haven't packed anything since October 25th, almost a month. I don't think I'll get my month pin. I love the before game talk on your streams. Make it feel more like we have an actual game night, as that's how my game nights usually go. Bingo, Brian. That's exactly how, when I started doing live streams, I wanted to simulate what I missed was the weekly game meetup at our local game store near my old work. We used to meet like every Thursday, sometimes different days, and we'd meet. And of course, you go in, people got their games with them that they brought. You start chatting with people. How's your week been? How are things going? You see anything new? Oh, you went to this convention last week? Oh, tell me about it, And I love that. I love doing that. That was so fun. I look forward to that. And then it kind of like died off, or you break apart. Other people get busy. They have kids. They get married. And then you just stop like meeting with those people and seeing those things. So yeah, that's what I tried to replicate. Honestly, that's the way I wanted to treat coming down to my basement, turning on the lights and cameras, getting a game out, is like, hey, look what I brought to game night. That's literally what I was attempting to do. And it just kind of morphed into that even more than I expected. And that's 100% why I named it Rob's Gaming Table. It was you joining me at the table, and we're going to check out something cool, and you can play along or, give feedback on, or I'm just going to present information to you, take it how you want it, and decide if it's something that's interesting you or not. Yeah. So that's good to hear that, because that's kind of what I was going for. And this intro talk still happens. It's just the off-topic stuff that I break out to in the middle of a stream. And I know on YouTube, I just deal with it. People can scrub through the talk, but sometimes you miss stuff and you're trying to scrub through and find out like when did they stop talking about this, when did they stop talking about that. But then I always get comments of people saying keep doing that because that's why I watch you. I love hearing the off stuff. I love the breaks during the games to rant about this or that. So we'll keep doing that. But yeah, this will just be a place where hopefully I can keep that stuff succinct, and then we come here and we talk about it in excess, you know, with no kind of stress or no worry about getting. You see me doing it on stream, right? You see me go, okay, that's great. Now back to the game, back to our regular scheduled programming, you know. And I'm like, because in my head a clock's going where I'm kind of thinking like I shouldn't. Is this related? Or I try to justify it. You know, this is still related because this is, you know, to the topic we're talking about or the game we're playing. So yeah, that's just the thing. Feels like a community catch up that before game talk. Yes. I'm just going through the chat, guys. I'll catch up in a sec. I'm just scrolled up here, and then we'll get discuss some things. D Miller wants to know how Edge of the Earth for Arkham Horror campaigns rank so far. We've only played 2 parts of the first scenario. And D Miller, my plan is to do a video after we're done playing it. Just a quick one or a quick stream where I can take questions about it. No spoilers. Give my thoughts on my experiment of playing with the limited new player card pool. Going through this as like a first campaign after the core set. And seeing how it is. And then I'll give my vague thoughts on it and that kind of stuff. And Mel will be there. We'll compare like how it was to the other ones we played and that kind of stuff. I don't know when that'll be because supposedly that can't. It says right at the front of the book it's 4 to 10 sessions, and we've only done 2. So I'm not going to comment. You can, if you watch along, the benefit is we will comment on it as we play. But I understand there's people that won't see that because they don't want spoilers. So stay tuned. You know, you'll be able to get your copy eventually. I'm sure they'll reprint more. I see it sold out in a lot of places because everyone wants the new release model. Because instead of waiting for packs and where people try to buy it after all the packs are out, now everyone's just going to buy those campaign expansions right up front, which is cool. And it's going to take FFG a bit of time to realize, or Asmodee, how many to print. So, but they'll have a second wave coming, you know, just who knows when with shipping crisis. But so far it's cool. But again, we're only like 2 parts of one scenario in or 2 sessions in out of possibly 10. So I like it could go downhill real fast, right? Like it's okay if there's like 1 or 2 scenarios that are kind of like, meh, that was boring or that stunk. But yeah, we'll see how it is at the end. Hopefully not the rest are that way, but so far so good. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, Yogi, we're going to talk about the Marvel Zombicide thing. There's not much that I know of, but actually we can talk about it right now, actually. Here. So I have it open here on Twitter. I was online this morning looking on Twitter, and I saw that this popped up where I guess Quackalope shared a video. 50th, Kamon's 50th Kickstarter is coming, and Kamon shared, was it Kamon? It was someone else, somebody on Twitter. Let me see if I can find it. They shared, Kamon is like sent out to some content creators. Oh, okay. So they probably told these content creators, like they gave them a breadcrumb, like a tip. So they're now making content to like paid content probably to try to promote it. This is a good marketing tactic. This the forced leaks. This happens in the video game industry all the time. When a game starts selling bad, companies will start leaking information about the next game to keep people interested. And then they'll like purposely leak stuff. And a lot of companies have like leak Twitter accounts where it's like an employee that works in the company, they say, but it's really like run by marketing. And they're like, oh, here's some leaks about an upcoming game. Like, could this be true? You know? And then you'll see the company, like sometimes they'll take it down, sometimes they won't. And that kind of tells you which ones are legit and which ones are not and stuff. But yeah, there was, yeah, I don't know where those were, but I did see, maybe it was these guys. Somebody posted something I saw. Okay, I don't know where it was. I have no idea. I saw it in one of my feeds somewhere that there is a, it's like a Silver Surfer miniature that doesn't look like a Marvel United chibi miniature. And it was sent to some content creators saying like the 50th Kickstarter is coming. And yeah, even Come On like retweeted this. So like, you know, They're making videos about like 50th Kickstarter, something coming that's big. So obviously they've told these content creators, and then they're making videos, which is good. But in the comments, I haven't watched any videos on it. I have no idea. But I started just reading through the comments, and you can see people just talking about Zombicide, which is like an obvious thing. Marvel Zombicide, Marvel side. Yeah, it's like it's like it makes sense, right? So come on, under Asmodee, right? They're like related to Asmodee. FFG's under Asmodee, and we know like the Marvel license thing. They went to FFG, obviously. They got Marvel. What can we slap Marvel on that will sell well? Obviously, co-op LCG made sense. Elder Sign was probably a hot property, so they slapped it on Elder Sign with the X-Men stuff. So come on, did this Marvel, Unlimited, and they were like, okay, miniatures of Marvel characters sell. What's another game that like you've done millions and millions of dollars on Kickstarter in selling for your 50th Kickstarter? 50th Kickstarter. What does Come On do? You know it's a Zombicide project, because like what would a company that was built off the back of Zombicide Kickstarters do for their 50th Kickstarter? Maybe their 100th, maybe not the 50th, maybe the 100th, but a big celebration like this, I would think it's a Zombicide project, and we've already seen them slap IPs on other Zombicide projects. So Marvel and Zombicide, just kind of like, why not? Print money, makes sense. Which I think Zombicide's like a good complexity level for, people getting into modern board gaming. Like it's a good kind of entry level dungeon crawling kind of dice chucking game, right? So slap Marvel license on there, throw it in the Walmarts, the Targets, the, toy stores, whatever. It's like, I think it would do okay. It's just the cost. Like if it's 120, 130 US dollars, like a Zombicide base box is, I don't think that's going to fly. But if they can get it down to something that's like, like 50 to 80 bucks, maybe you'll pull some Marvel fans in. But who knows? They throw it in comic book shops and stuff. Even if it's $100, or more, comic book, shoppers, ones who go in comic book shops, I go in them myself, and some of those like, statues and the omnibuses or whatever. No, what are those? Is that what they're called? The big, thick, beautiful books that contain all the comics, and then the rare comics and all that stuff. All very pricey collectibles. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. Like, guys know I backed a bunch of Zombicides. Mel loves Zombicide. We played Zombicide when we first got into the hobby. I love Zombicides for what they've done for my game group, my hobby, getting people into the games, throwing around. Oh, Mark Brown, thank you so much for becoming a producer. Sorry, I just noticed that. I was scrolled up in the chat. I didn't see it. I also don't have headphones in right now, so I did not hear the notification. But Mark Brown, thank you so much for becoming a member by clicking the join button down below. Thank you for joining the channel. Thanks for the support. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, I don't know. Marvel Zombicide. Yeah, see, Mark's saying $100 is small in the comic book market. Exactly. This is what I'm thinking. If these guys get this game into comic book shops, cha-ching, cha-ching, like, like it's not like, it's better than like them try. Hopefully they don't try to make it like, a $40 cheap, get into the big box store kind of board game and like really make the crappiest components, kind of like they did with Marvel United, right? Like that game is like super cheap. Now you can get it for like $3 on clearance. Like they're just trying to get rid of those now, because it's obviously like a cheaply produced thing. Or compared to like, if it was a full $120 production, the retail box, not obviously not the Kickstarter stuff, I'm sure is better, but it's not something I backed or anything like that. So I don't have it or anything, but I did see I see it locally, lots of stores were like clearing out Marvel United's like on sale and stuff, a while ago, and still are, I think. So Heather says the Quacklow video was annoyingly clickbait, which is kind of like, that's why I didn't say it, but that's kind of why I didn't click on any of this stuff, because it feels like kind of forced marketing. But yeah, and I kind of just, you can find the answer in the comments, but anyways, but they unboxed a huge model. Oh, so were they sent the huge model as like part of the marketing? That's kind of cool. What was the model? What was the model? Was it a half zombie, half like, superhero or something? Like what's making them think it's Zombicide? Other than the obvious like 50th Kickstarter, it's Come On, like, and they have the Marvel license, and we've seen FFG slap it on like the super popular cooperative LCGs. Makes sense to slap it on you know, a license that sells. I don't know, Marvel and zombies, like, does that mix? Oh, is Zombie Galactus? Is it like the Cthulhu, like the giant Cthulhu miniature from Cthulhu Death May Die that they did? Is it like the size of a baby? Is it like the size of a baby? Oh man. Let's see here. Yogi put the pic in the Discord. Good call. Good call. Yeah, I should have Discord open. That makes sense. That makes sense. That's another good thing. I was going to mention that in the Discord, Dan. Thanks for bringing that up. But in our producer Discord, the upcoming like Kickstarter projects and stuff, if you guys drop stuff in there, keep dropping stuff in there. What I'm going to do is anything that looks interesting out of there, this is a place to talk about it that I'm going to use to talk about it and that kind of stuff. Because I kind of look at some of that stuff and then I'm like, oh, I want to like talk about it, but then I'm like, where do I do that? So that's another reason why this stream was decided. Let's see. Oh, nice. Copy link. Let's see if I can bring it up on stream. Let's put this window over here. Thank you for that, Dan. Thanks, Yogi. So this is the miniature supposedly. And oh, there's the Quicksilver one at the bottom. That's the Quicksilver miniature they sent out. I'm wondering, even if... Oh, he is a zombie. I see. I see. He's a... okay, that makes sense. That's why you would come to the conclusion Marvel Zombicide. Because I see his face there. And his arm is like zombie. I would have thought if it was just a regular Galactus, like, you know, it may be like the Cthulhu Death May Die. Kind of Cthulhu Death May Die game system mixed with this. Like, Cthulhu Death May Die is spiritually like a zombicide game, right? But hopefully they take what they learned about Cthulhu Death May Die and mix that with zombicide, kind of spice it up and make it like a better game. But Lucas, thank you so much for becoming a producer. Much appreciated. Thank you for the support. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for joining the channel. Yes, this model would sell well in a comic shop. Exactly. If they don't get this in comic book stores, not just tabletop gaming stores or just on Amazon, they need to get this in front of comic book shoppers, and then we'll pull them into board gaming. Come on in, boys and girls. Obviously, I just, you know. But yeah. Yeah, the comic book shop near me actually has like quite a decent board game selection, like modern board games and good board games and stuff. So they're already doing that. They already have it. Like you have to walk by the board games to get to the comic books, which is really cool. And of course, they have the ones with the IPs related to, you know, TV shows and that kind of stuff. Not all of them are great, but they have a good selection and some modern stuff and some good quality stuff. Some of it's not priced that great, but at least they have it. And it's a place to get, you know, our hobby in front of other hobbies that, you know, people would be interested in some of this stuff. But again, a lot of people just think what is in Toys R Us or your toy store, or your big box store. This is all that exists in board gaming, right? And slowly that's getting better, but there's still more work to do for sure. Oh, Bob says, Rob, can you tell these new producers how to join Discord? Yes. So if you just Google... And so if you join through YouTube, you can connect Discord to YouTube. So inside Discord, I don't know if it's I think it's this one, how to link. I mean, I'm going to click on a whole bunch of random websites. I got my you know, web security filter thing on, but how to link YouTube to Discord. So yeah, you navigate to your profile in Discord, click on connections, and then in there you can connect apps to it. It'll look different on your phone than it will on the website. But yeah, if you do have a Discord account and you've linked YouTube, or if you join us on Patreon and you link Patreon in your Discord, there is a bot that will automatically pull you in because it will see that you've supported at the right level on Patreon or you've joined the channel. I understand some people don't care to do this. Some people don't care to use Discord. Some people don't want to chat with us and don't want to chat with other producers. And I understand because, Bob Chapman's and Dan Roberts are also producers, so they'll be in there. So I can totally understand if you don't want to join the Discord. But it is a place for just our producers of the channel and for Mel and I to just chat behind the scenes and talk about things and prepare for streams and that kind of stuff. But also for other producers to play games with other producers and, harass the people who don't like pineapple on pizza and that kind of stuff. The very few of them that there are. I'm just joking. But yeah. So just look it up. It'll be different based on the web or your mobile app or whatever, but you just need to search and find how to link Discord to YouTube or Discord to Patreon, and it should automatically pull you in. And so as long as you're supporting the channel, you'll be in our private Discord. And then people share like painting miniature pictures and tips and stuff in there. It's really cool. But it's kind of like a smaller Discord. It's not like some of these Discords just full of everyone that watches the channel, thousands of people going crazy, because that's not how I would want my game groups. So that's not how I want my Discord. So I like how it's kind of like a smaller, like quality over quantity is how I look at things in life. So it's a cool little place. So if you're interested, you can join. If you're not, you don't need to. You can hide it, turn off notifications, all that stuff if you want. Mark's already on it. Mark did it. Okay, cool. There you go. I don't say it often enough, but that's how it works. Yeah, I think I have a link or a description of how to do it on Patreon when you join, but YouTube, I don't think there's a way for me to put that info in there. I don't think I can do that. So yeah, Zombicide Marvel. I'm interested just because it's Marvel. It's a new way to pull people into our hobby, and start playing better board games than what they grew up with, and in most cases. Because a lot of us weren't lucky enough to play some of the cool games that were around in the 70s, 80s, and 90s and stuff. We were just playing like Monopoly with our grandma and Risk with her uncle and stuff, and we thought that was cool, but it wasn't. It was actually child abuse, looking back on it. So we're gonna try to correct that. So that's the plan. So that's cool. So I appreciate them doing that. So that's my thoughts there on Marvel Zombicide or whatever they're gonna call it. Marvel side. I hope they don't call it that. But yeah, we'll play it. Like, I don't see why not. But we'll see. Maybe it's a big rip. Maybe it's a joke. Maybe it's garbage. But after Cthulhu Death May Die, I'm not fully done saying no to come on Kickstarters. Like, I didn't kickstart that one, but I grabbed the retail box. Totally happy with it. It was totally a better project. Totally a better game. I felt it was worth the money, worth the time. I want to play more. Yeah. But Zombicides just felt repetitive. Backing for hundreds of dollars every couple of years, getting the same thing in the box over and over again. It felt a little kind of like they could have tried harder and they didn't. It felt like a lazy thing. It felt like that weekly meeting for that project you don't really want to work on, you feels not important, that they should have spent that effort on something else. That's what that was to me. That was me not interested. And Come On was part of the reason I kind of got a bad taste in my mouth for Kickstarter and crowdfunding attached to board gaming. And it just stopped me caring to even go and back things and care. Like, that was one of the companies and projects that kind of just made me not care about crowdfunding really. But yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, Yogi, I see. Okay. Rules. So Jot says, I work in finance. 80% of my work is let's do reports for the sake of reporting and let's analyze this to have it analyzed. Can relate. Yes, exactly. I hate it when it's just like busy stuff where people are just scheduling meetings and just to fill their week, like the ones that don't really do much work or do work that's not important, or they're in a position that's probably not really needed, where they'll just make up fluff stuff. They'll fill their calendar with random crap that's just not important. And you just feel like this is just halting my work and getting in the way. That's what I was talking about before. And that's what I didn't want to do. Sometimes someone will bring up something I should do for a stream, or I'll have an idea, or Mel will have an idea or something, and I'll think about it, and then I'll be like, but I'm passionately want to play games more and want to try new games, and I have games to play that I already have, or want to go back and play this other game that I haven't played in a while. And that I'd be more passionate about than like trying this new thing. But like I gotta try more new things too, right? Because some things will be fun and will stick. But yeah, like my top list, right? Like Rob's top 10, whatever. It's like, yeah, it probably will get a bunch of views. Those videos do well, but like to me, it's not about the views. Like it's not about that. So yes, I have to have a certain amount of funding on the channel to keep doing this, obviously. And the more I get, the better equipment, the better technology I can buy, the more games I can back. I don't have to beg publishers for prototypes and that kind of stuff and weird projects that I don't care about, which is cool. So I like doing it this way. But yeah, I'm not about like, yeah, YOLO, got to get rich and crazy stuff like that. I don't care. But yeah, that's me. So when I think about doing a top list, it's like I want to do them when I feel like I want to do them, not just because, like because it's just my opinion on like some games that are my favorite. Like, yeah, the benefit of that is it might bring some games in front of people, and this is what it's done. And what's made me think it was cool to do was it sometimes some games on my list are different than I guess what people even know about because this hobby's so big. There's so many games, right? So that's the benefit of those videos. But honestly, like how I rank the games, like it shouldn't really matter because everyone has different tastes and like who cares what's my favorite game really, right? Like I'm just one dude, um but yeah, I usually will say if I like a game or not, like in streams and stuff. So, but I guess it's like people's time's valuable, right? So making it in a little quick 10-minute video of like, here's my top whatever, it probably would benefit people more than I'm giving it credit for. So, so I don't have to waste time sitting there watching me on stream. But yeah. Adam says, you do great. There are times when you go off track, but there are times when you take time to discover rules. Yeah. 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 Rules talk and talk about incongruencies that would take me hours to find as well. Yeah, big thumbs up. Thanks, Adam. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just going through the chat. I'm like quickly reading stuff. I just want to miss something that's like interesting someone brought up. I didn't really plan this well. First game. Oh, Jeffrey Preston says, my first Marvel game was Legendary. I still play that one from time to time, which is a quality game. That's a quality game for sure. Obviously Marvel Champions came around and that kind of took my interest, and that's already more game than I can handle. It's not like they both can't exist. It's just like if I'm going to spend my time playing a Marvel card game, at this point it's Marvel Champions. Unless I'm playing with someone younger or someone newer to gaming, Marvel Legendary for sure. Like deck building is just a nice, like a solid deck builder. People just understand that. You like explain it in 2 minutes and you're playing, and people just kind of get it, and it's cool to see that light bulb go off. But sometimes throwing Marvel Champions at them, it's like, ooh, I can see it's like a little too much. But yeah, but it's cool that they both exist for sure. Heather says, yeah, it was a zombified Marvel character. I think there was also an information card with minimal info. Okay. So yeah, they're sending it to these guys so they can create content, to create buzz for this thing. They're treating it like the comics and the movies and the video games, the same marketing strategy they do, which is cool. It's cool to see that stuff get brought into board gaming and taken seriously. I like that. I think it's good. It's good for our hobby for sure. Build up some hype, even if it turns out to be junk. It's like the fact that these companies are taking it serious. I just hope they put as much money into the game design, play testing, and rule books and stuff like that. But we'll see. Let's see. So Brian V says, if there really is a Marvel Zombicide, I'll be obligated to buy it for my daughter to play. She is a huge Marvel fan. Yep. And you guys will have fun. Like Zombicide, just throwing handfuls of dice. Like, it's straightforward. Doesn't burn your brain too much. Just fun seeing like good table presence, that kind of stuff. For that, it's great. Great like beer and pretzel kind of stuff. But don't do the beer with your daughter. I'm just okay, milk and cookies. I don't know. But anyways, you know what I mean. It's just like relax, have fun. You don't have to worry so much about, analyzing the rules, the situations, the puzzles, all that kind of stuff. Let's see. Hey, Rory. Welcome. Colonoscopy. Dan, you're hilarious. Let's see here. Oh, George A, hello, buddy. Hegemony. Yes, I was looking at that this morning, actually. That was one I was looking at. I do plan on going to GameFound and just looking at what's out right now, like what's currently there, what's upcoming, and just give quick thoughts on that. But that one I did see pop up, and like the taglines and the theme of it had me interested. So we can look at that. I'll open that in a tab here, and so I don't forget. Let's see, GameFound. Yeah, we'll talk about that one. See if I can. Nope, that's not it, Rob. That's not it. Sorry, one sec. For some reason I searched that on Google and it's not a popular thing, it seems. I just learned about the word. Where is it? Isn't that on GameFound? I thought it was on GameFound. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Sorry guys. I know you can't see all projects. Oh, I know where I saw it. Okay. Let's talk about this. Here's another website I'm sure a bunch of you know about, but it's one I used to use a lot when I actually cared about crowdfunding projects. When I was more into it, I should say, because there are some I really care about, but in general, it's not a regular part of my routine as it used to be. It's this website here called KickTrack, which supposedly tracks Kickstarter projects. I don't know if it's only tabletop gaming because I do see a video game here. I think it's in general, but it looks like tabletop games are on the hot list here or whatever this is. So we can go to all hot projects. There's like articles and things. But what I used to do is go to this website, and I found out about it because a lot of publishers know about this website and they will promote it in their projects to have people go click it, because based on you clicking these links and going to these projects, it bumps it up in the hotness list. So, I don't know how well to trust these metrics because they could be just driven by those who have the biggest fan bases and the biggest amount of backers already. But this hegemony, lead your class to victory, is the top hot thing today on here. I guess it's from a week ago. But without going to the crowdfunding page, you can kind of see its pledge level and its fake percent over the goal kind of thing with its super low. Oh my God, 3,000. Wait a second. Their goal was to make 50 cents? What? Average pledge per backer. That's kind of cool. There's just some cool stats here. I don't know. And then you can click visit project, which I'm definitely helping it out. But it also shows you how many days are left. So you kind of just see here without going there, kind of like how it's doing, if you're just interested. It's a way to find projects maybe you never heard of, you wouldn't have known by digging through the website and stuff. Click. Yeah. See Sajat saying it. KickTrack is completely gamed, unfortunately. Exactly. But you still can find out about games you maybe weren't keeping track of. So because I was looking before of a way to go to a website to find just bring it all to me on one site. Someone's got to be what do you call that? I forget the word. Curating. I was looking for kind of a curated website to track all this stuff. Just so I can find out about projects once a week, just go on somewhere and kind of get an update on what's going on. And I started using this, but then I did learn that that's the case, and you can tell. So all it takes is one project to get a whole bunch of thousands of followers, and then they start saying we'll unlock something, or you guys can help. It's the same thing with Board Game Geek. Certain games will tell everyone go over there and rate our game, help us get into the top 100, and it's like, okay, so your game's in the top 100 because you have more dedicated fans, not maybe because your game's actually a top 100 game. You know what I mean? So then it's you start questioning stats and how they can easily be manipulated in this relatively small hobby, right? So yeah, so this project George is asking about here. So the whole idea of this one, it's a unique asymmetric card-driven 1 to 4 player, board game experience about politics and the economy. Oh, whoa, sorry. I fell asleep there. Just joking. A whole nation in one box. Okay, but still, this is not for everybody, I'm sure. But the whole idea, it's asymmetric. You can play the working class, capitalist class, middle class, the state, and you're kind of just playing a card game against each other. It's a Euro game. is what I got from it. Soulsy has a solo mode right here. Funded in 14 minutes. Get the hell out of here. Your 14-minute stuff. But yeah, so it just looks like a bunch of stuff in a box, but it's a Euro game. And yeah, it's an economic kind of like, so where is it? There was a good little thing I read about it. Maybe it wasn't even on this website. I did read about it before, and there was like a better description of it. Oh, maybe it was this. I don't know. The nation is in disarray, the economy is failing, and a heavy political resignation engulf the country. Low investment rates are paralyzing the economy, while a major part of the population is facing unemployment. The standard of living is decreasing while political tensions are rising. In these troubling times, the only one who can provide guidance is you. So, like, man, if you want a game that teaches you stuff about this, if you're interested in any of this stuff, and we see this stuff going on, this is affecting everything around you, all around the world, this stuff relates. So, similar to how kind of we were joking and we played Pandemic during the pandemic, like, haha, it's like kind of like real life stuff's happening. The game has a little more meaning. This game, like, if you want to take it that way, will actually teach you and learn stuff and be more relatable. So, if you're looking for, like, a theme that kind of hits home, I think they hit the nail on the head with this one. This is a cool theme for sure. And if you're interested in this kind of stuff, but again, this could be a snooze fest for a lot of people, I'm sure. But if you're into Euro games and you like, unique themes and stuff, this one seems interesting. Definitely seems cool. Just at a glance, I don't know a ton about it. I don't know how the gameplay is or anything like that. I mean, they're using just meeples and cubes here, which is totally acceptable, totally fine. What's the price of this thing? So around $85 Canadian. Okay, that seems pretty normal for a pretty juicy Euro, I guess. I don't know how juicy it is, but... So I guess playing as the working class, you're trying to bring prosperity to the people, and then you'll have another player, I guess, trying to build their corporate empire, which I think that's what I would want to play, because that's kind of cool. Then there's the middle class, make the middle flourish, and then you can be the state, serve the nation, and earn your legitimacy. Just sounds fun. Just sounds cool to me. I don't know. So we got preparation phase, we got an action phase. Each class has 6 main actions, so it's really asynchronous. Every faction kind of plays differently is the idea, right? So if you know those type of games. Got some production, which in any kind of economic Euro you'd expect to see. An election phase. Oh man, this could be fun with the right group for sure. Scoring. I don't know. This is cool. This is like, I don't play a ton of Euros, so I don't know if this has been beaten to death, but this is the first time I've seen something like this. And I know there's these kind of games like that'll be based in history and stuff, but I like when they make games that are kind of like based it now and like kind of relates. Rory says, right, I'm living that game. Exactly. So it's a neat one. I think this is cool looking. I don't know who this is published by. Hegemonic Project Games. First project they've ever done. But I mean, man, if they do this right, this could be a pretty popular game. So I don't know if I would back it up front, to be honest, because like Euro game's not really what I'm looking for right now. But it may be something later I grab at retail or back it on the second go around with the expansion kind of thing. But some people might be interested in that. So definitely looks cool though. Definitely looks cool. I'm actually going to put it on my list of games to keep an eye on. I have a little spreadsheet off to the side here. I just need to get the name of it. Of course, I'm on Kickstarter, so I have to scroll for 15 minutes to get any information. Hegemony. I'm not sure how to say it. Hegemony? Hegemony? I'm going to put it on my interested for later list. Just to remind myself to kind of look at it a year from now, 6 months from now, whatever. 12 days to go. 8,000 backers. That's really good, right? Has over 500,000 Canadian. I don't know what the US is on that. Maybe I should try to make it US. If I can. Again, I got to scroll for 3 years to do that. Boom. And I just switched it to US because it's kind of like a level amount. Most of my audience is the US viewers. So it kind of just makes sense. And since I'm a neighbor to the US and I travel down there, spend money all the time, it's easy for me to kind of do kind of a rough conversion in my head. So sorry for those who can't. But yeah, but the ones who can't, realize how their local currency relates to US. Probably can't do it for Canadian either, so even less. So I figured switch it to US when I can. But yeah, half a million buckaroos. Oh, is it hedge money? Is it hedge money? Jack's just saying types the name in, says that's how you pronounce it. Well, thanks for that. Thanks for nothing, Jack. Dan says, I'm not really looking at Euros right now, Rob, since forever. Well, since you've been here, yeah. But there was a time where I was trying to grab Euros and throw them in my collection. Then I got a bunch of them. I started feeling like they were kind of repetitive. And, my game group gets kind of bored of them. So it just felt like, they do okay on the channel. But, see you later, Sajat. You stay safe too, buddy. Hey, Gem O Nye. Hey, Gemonai? Guys, stop. Hedge money. Hedge money sounds better. Jack, I'm just joking around. You just typed it out, so how am I supposed to pronounce? I should probably just Google it, but it's okay. I don't care to know how to pronounce it, really. George A says, hey, Gemoni. Hey, Gemoni. Hey, Gemoni? I don't know if some of you are trolling me or not, but it's still funny either way. Okay, so anyways, yeah, it looks cool. George, what are your thoughts on it? I know you shouldn't really be backing games right now based on the way you kind of described how you decide if games are on your shelf of shame or not, and you need to get plays out of them, which I totally am all about. I wish I did it more strict, and but yeah, it definitely looks cool. Also with the Euro games, the solo modes in Euro games, the trying to beat your own score kind of thing, that usually is kind of like doesn't really interest me. The players I play with, like Mel will play a Euro game and kind of think it's kind of fun. And I have some players where if I throw a Euro game in front of them, it's kind of okay. But you can tell those are the games that are never like, let's play again, usually. Usually there are a few that are winners, but I just noticed too when I play a Euro game on stream, I play it like once and people will watch it, but then it's like you kind of get the point. There's not usually like a campaign. There's not like, getting it back to the table on video is not something that really needs to be done unless I can change the player count and kind of spice it up. But then COVID happened, so I'll have a whole bunch of Euro games that like I play once or haven't even played yet because I want to play them with a higher player count. So that's why I'm saying I'm not really looking into Euros. But of course, if I see an awesome one, I'll get it. That's not a problem. Not a problem at all, but yeah, and just that whole like multiplayer solitaire that's in a lot of Euro games. Like I said, I got into the hobby based on the design and fun that we had with Game of Thrones: The Board Game Second Edition. So if there is some player interaction in the game, it's something I'm looking for in a competitive game. But yeah, if there's like very minimal or no player action or player interaction, I'm just less interested in that kind of stuff. Yeah, multiplayer solitaire is like something I'm not interested in really at all. So, which is why I kind of like worker placement and that kind of stuff, because it's like at least at minimum you're kind of stealing limited resources from people. At minimum. And George is saying, I love asymmetric games like Root and Vast, so that scratches that itch. Yeah, asymmetric games are fun. It's like learning a different game like 4 times, like it's the same foundation, but it's like playing as each faction is always cool, trying to solve them, and then how it can create different balance based on which factions are in the game and stuff. I think Root is amazing. That's one of the Kickstarter projects I have that I'm waiting on. So what I was doing before the stream was I have a little spreadsheet, and I was putting in the projects that I have that I have not been delivered, that I backed, that I could remember. I again, here's my problem too. I have a personal account that I back Kickstarters and stuff with. I have my Rob's Gaming Table email that I sometimes log in and back things with that I forget when I'm logged in as one or the other. So that's my issue. And so it's hard to keep track of what's what, and because it goes to like 2 different emails and things, so I'm kind of a mess with that. But again, I set it and forget it, so that's why I kind of don't care. But that was one of them. So Root. This one, the Marauders, I was just looking at before the stream started. Root the Marauder expansion. So I did back this one. I normally would wait for this stuff at retail, but I mathed out the price, the shipping and everything, looked at how the price was at the time for things for my local game stores and stuff, and just decided I'm good. It seemed like a decent value, so I just did it. So that estimated delivery date is what I put in my little spreadsheet off screen here. January 2022. And then what I was doing was kind of seeing, I have another column. And this is something we can talk about too, is just like to try to figure out when things are coming. So every now and then I'll kind of just see like, oh, when's this game coming? When that game's coming. This one, I'm not so worried about when it arrives because I have root stuff I need to play. So I don't really care when this comes. So this is one I backed and just don't care. But sometimes I just go in here and quickly look. Okay. Charge date. Okay. Looking on Monday. Okay. Something about shipping costs, address lockdown. Okay. Does it say here any kind of delays or changes or shipping updates? No. Looks like they're trying to lock everything in. So January 2022, is that still the date? Maybe. I don't know if there was another update saying things are delayed, but this is just like the kind of pre-production copies arrive, new card charge date. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I don't see any updates about delaying the game, but maybe that already happened. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Nothing there. Okay, don't care. Don't care. But yeah, so I guess the current ETA is still that January. I don't know. Does anyone in the chat know any different? Oh, it does have a lot of multiplayer interaction, so it's not the typical boring four people playing their own and at the end seeing who won, which looks interesting. That's why I'm saying it. That one seems like it could be cool because you're all working in the same place. Like you're all different parts of the same economic engine, right? Uh, or the economic like environment or climate or whatever, which is kind of neat. But yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye on that one because that one I like that. It looks unique. It looks unique. So another one I was looking at, Aeon's End. Aeon's End Legacy. That one I know there was updates. So Aeon's End Legacy of Gravehold. This is one I backed. And what is the what is the original campaign? November 2021. Original ETA. November 2021. I don't have this. If you've never played Aeon's End before, you can start with just this one, but you don't need to. There's tons of Aeon End standalone boxes from different sets over the years you can try. So I see if anyone's never heard of Aeon's End, I'm sorry. I just assume you guys watching. We play a bunch of this on the channel. It's a deck building game. It's my favorite deck building game, I'm pretty sure. This is another reason why I wouldn't really play Marvel Legendary anymore and why I'm not interested, because this would be my deck builder to go to get that kind of like heroes fighting a villain kind of thing. Yeah, this just I feel like blows Marvel Legendary out of the water, but that's just me. That's personally my opinion. May not be for you. You might need the Marvel IP and you like that simplified design and stuff. But this game just does a few things that just make deck builders more interesting to me. And so far, it's like my favorite deck building game, I would say. If I had to choose one to play more often than not, it'd be Aeon's End. But they did an Aeon's End Legacy a few years after releasing different boxes and Kickstarters and stuff. And that supposedly did pretty well. So this is like the second Aeon's End Legacy game. So a legacy game, for those that don't know, is like I'll play this game and you'll play this game and we'll both have different experiences. We'll be tearing things up, putting stickers on things, unlocking characters. I don't know what else. Who knows? I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, it's just like that kind of style of game with a lot of hidden envelopes and hidden boxes, and you never know what's coming next kind of idea. So this is one I backed, and I mainly backed it because I wanted to play Matt. But then I got sent to play Matt by a producer of the channel. So yeah, so much appreciated. And so yeah, I have a playmat now, but I did back this literally just to try to get a playmat. I'll be honest, that's the real reason I did. Oh, Jack has to go. Thanks a lot, Jack, for stopping in. So yeah, so this is one I was waiting for, but it supposedly should have been coming in November. But let's check the updates and see. So November 2021. I just want to put this in my spreadsheet so I kind of know when I'm kind of planning. Oh, I did that already. Updates. Alert. So when was this? October 27th. Lockdown addresses on November 17th for fulfillment. Update your addresses today. Okay, so they're trying to get stuff shipped out. Last update. Oh, we're on a boat. Okay, so on October 25th, they were on boats. Oh, here we go. Fulfillment begins, I'm assuming, yeah, mid to late December, so like January probably. So this one, I'm going to put down that I'll probably see it as earliest January 2022. That's not a bad miss with the shipping crisis and regular Kickstarter delays and bad project management skills, all that stuff. That's not bad to be January 2022. Not too shabby. Another one that I'm very curious about. This one I want to talk about in one of these kind of streams. And then at the time, I just got busy and was doing other things and was streaming on the times when they were talking about this. But it's Earthborn Rangers. I don't know if anyone's heard of this one. But this was a project I was interested in. I backed it at just the low one to just get into the pledge manager because I wasn't sure about it 100%. They had a demo, but it was one of those projects where it literally is you funding the idea. So they have designers working on the game. Other designers have left the project. It sounded like the project was kind of like, it was an idea from a former executive at Fantasy Flight Games and I guess an executive at, or a manager or whatever, head of studio from Fantasy Flight Games, Andrew Navarro, who left, went to work for Chip Theory Games, and I believe has left there to start his own company. So I guess he saved up a bunch of money, started his own company, Earthborn Games, and he basically is passion because he wanted to start his own company and break away because of what he was seeing going on in the industry of how bad modern tabletop gaming is for the environment. And it's something, it was hilarious. When I freaking saw this project, somebody sent it to me actually. And yeah, somebody sent me this and I went and looked into it and I read everything Andrew was saying. I watched some interviews he did. I listened to a podcast that had him on and talk about the project. But it seems super cool because and before I ever saw this, you guys have heard me rant about the whole idea of just how there is like 1,000 games being made every minute, Kickstarters, games releasing, and a lot of it just nobody cares about. It just gets thrown away. And like we have games we're just collecting junk and no one's playing these games. Everyone's just collecting them all the time. That's what it feels like. It feels like the major part of the hobby, like there's the hobby within the hobby of painting and assembling miniatures. There's the hobby within the hobby of like going to tournaments and honing skills. There's the hobby within the hobby of just like finding storage for all your games. There's a hobby within the hobby of just collecting, buying and collecting and buying and collecting. That's outpacing your playing. That's a little scary. But that is a hobby that's part of the industry, is just collecting shiny things. And the way things are produced in the industry with the plastics used, the papers used, the packaging, like we see Fantasy Flight Games, how many boxes we buy that are just full of air and inserts that we toss away, or booster packs and expansions of plastic blister packs for our Mythos packs, adventure packs, collectible card game packs that just have, you're ripping off packaging, throwing in the garbage, ripping off packaging. So your game comes in too much packaging is like one of the worst offenders. But Andrew Navarro started Earthborn Games on that fact of trying to correct some of that. So he wants his games, and this is just the first, hopefully, of many Earthborn Rangers of sustainably made board games. So the paper it's printed on, the packaging, where it's manufactured, all that stuff follows whatever kind of local earth environmental guidelines, whatever sustainability, green, whatever, kind of regulations they have. I don't know if that's in here. Yeah, long-lasting design, reusability and recyclability, sustainable materials, environmental friendly factories. So this guy is getting stuff printed in like USA, UK, and the EU, not in China. So he's, it's obviously going to cost a bit more, but he approached some of these companies, worked some things out in advance, to make sure the packaging was fully recyclable, the components fully biodegradable, all that kind of stuff. But it's like it's similar to the model that he worked on at Fantasy Flight Games. So it's basically an LCG is the idea, what it was designed to be. But then he realized that a way to support an LCG requires too many people, too much company. So instead he scaled it back. So it's kind of just like an LCG. It's going to have expansions, and depending on support, may release more expansions later. But originally he was thinking his head was going to make it like, and this is what kind of threw me for a loop. When he said he originally wanted to be just like an LCG, releasing packs monthly and all this kind of stuff, because he saw how successful that was at Fantasy Flight Games, that is like a no-no. That's like not very environmental friendly, right? If you're like purposely breaking down games into smaller packages and shipping them, yeah, it's still recyclable and all, but that factory making it is still pumping out pollution at some level, right? So it's like the more packaging they need to make to separate the game and the more shipping that's happening. You're telling me the trucks shipping it and the warehouses storing it aren't wasting energy and polluting? I don't know. But yeah, so he backed off on that, and it's just like a core set, and they have one expansion being designed. But there is gameplay of it, of the demo, which seemed interesting. Here's a bunch of videos you can watch about it. It looked cool, but it still wasn't enough for me to back it. But I did back it at the lowest level just to kind of see how the project develops. And maybe I'll get in on it in the pledge manager if that hasn't happened already. Maybe it happened and I missed it. But again, I don't care that much. If it hopefully I can just buy it later in retail. And I know I asked a question on a live stream, and he answered that he hopes to have it in stores later, but at least it'll be on their web store at minimum. So I might just grab it in retail later, worst case, and kind of support the project and support my game store at the same time. That's my theory, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just order it online and create pollution as it shipped to me by some kind of shipping company. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it looks super cool. So the theme of this one, which interests me too, it's like basically the theme is in current day. The game doesn't take place in current day, but there's like a backstory to it where we kind of ruined Earth. It's gotten out of control, and we started creating projects to fix that and to fix the Earth and undo all the damage we did. So this takes place like, I don't know, hundreds or thousands of years in the future, where it's a world after all those projects were made and kind of going generations and generations from now. So you're like in one region and you're basically like forest rangers kind of. And there's like different kind of animals and environments and cool things you find that kind of unlock that story about what had happened in the past. And again, I haven't looked in this game in months, so this is all on memory, so I might not be 100% correct. But it's an interesting project. So I want to find out what the deal is with it right now. October update. Have they opened the Pledge Manager? Oh, right here. Pledge Manager update. Shortly after I posted last month's update, we received confirmation from BackerKit that we'll be able to charge shipping separately from your product order. That means we can safely launch the Pledge Manager before we settle on shipping costs. So that makes sense. With the shipping crisis, shipping costs are all up and down. Hopefully things get fixed within the next year or two. We'll see, but I doubt it. But yeah, so based on the inconsistent shipping rates, it's good to kind of charge shipping later instead of ask for a whole bunch of money up front based on estimates and then later have to beg for more money, or, they took too much money and then shipping drops and whatever. So that makes sense. So to me, this sounds like it's not open yet. But when it opens, I want access to it. I might just grab it in the late Pledge Manager, because like I kept talking about it after, and I didn't have enough time to research too much while it was live, and I kind of missed it. And then I just backed it like on the last day or second to last day or something at like the access to the Pledge Manager level. This $5 or more. Because even if I don't get it through him, I figure $5 to this idea is like that's at least minimum what I feel like I have to give. But it's an $80 US core set. You get one copy, but then they had like gameplay all in, which is what I really wanted to do, $150. But then they also had like add-ons where you could add on enough player cards so you could add more players in, and they have more deck building options. So it's just like an FFG product with a core set and then expansions to give you more cards. You'll have just enough deck building in the base set for each class, but then if you want to, use some cards that another class is using and stuff, you have to buy like a supplemental pack. But it's neat. It looks neat. This is one I was interested in. So the original release, supposedly July 2022, But this project is like changed developers. People have left the project. New people have come onto the project. So I don't know what kind of state of development hell it's in or not. But yeah, I don't know if that date still sticks. July 2022. But I don't think now they would kind of be talking about like if they're behind on the project or not. I don't know if it's panic time yet. Yeah, it's got like a full map. It's like there's like no win condition kind of thing ish. They're just like wandering around discovering story. It's more of like a relaxed kind of card game story kind of game. You just discover where you want to discover. You have little quests each day you're playing, trying to get done. You only have so much time to do it in. You like I think your deck is like your life kind of energy, just like in the Seventh Continent kind of idea. A little bit like that. You don't just die. It just becomes like the end of your day or something like that. And you can only get so much done in a day. So you have to make choice of who you're going to help and what you're going to do. And the way it was described, you're like kind of a mix between a forest ranger, a firefighter, that kind of stuff, but in the future. So you have to decide, like, whether you want to go help Jimmy that fell down the well, or whether you want to go, you heard about something going on over here, or you just want to explore over here or there, and just get lost in the world. So it's going to have a full campaign book or something, a full story book with it that you're going to be looking stuff up in the book as you play and discover things. At least last I heard. So, yeah. So right now that's July 2022. Another one that I backed. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this one, but it's called Frost Haven. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I forget even what it was. Just some little game I backed. But yeah, that joke I guess never gonna get old. I don't know. But December 2020, was the original, but we all know it's not that anymore. At this point, I think we're lucky if it's like December 2021, but I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Does anyone know the latest on this? I'm sure somebody in here is back Frosthaven. Does anyone know? Oh, finishing up files and info for LaserOx, so they're sending stuff to printers. Okay. Global shipping crisis, yada yada. I wish they're on the website. I wish you could just go to Kickstarter or GameFound and this would update. Or at the top of the page there was like a current estimated delivery date. Because this is like so deceiving. Like you see this and you're like, that's embarrassing, right? I wish it kind of like had an updated one so I didn't have to dig through updates. Steven says early 2022. So I'm going to put Q1 2022 then. Is that really Q1? I'll just put that Q1 2022. Oh, yeah. Did I say? Yeah, I think I said December 2021. I meant December of 2022 is what I meant. The joke I meant there. No. Yeah, I said the wrong date. Okay. Another one I backed was this one, this Hexplore It. The Domain of Mirzanoctis. This is one we have coming, which I actually have like the pledge thing for. I think I got a Blood Collector pledge coming in May 2022, which I copied in there. I don't know the latest updates on this. How do we find out updates on GameFound? I have backed a few GameFound projects, but I've never really gone on there to read things. Did they add a field that says current release date? That would be sick. Because this website's had some cool like quality of life features, man. I like it. Follow it. Okay. It's an archive view of the original crowdfunding. Go into the current project view. Okay. Oh, view the original campaign, late pledge, or follow. Okay, here we go. Updates. That's kind of neat. Early ship continues. Oh, early ship item. So if you like backed one of the previous projects, you should be getting your stuff shipping to you, I guess. I don't know. Oh, here we go. October update. Early ship timing. Reaper miniatures. Okay. Oh. Reaper Miniatures has finished the production of our minis. Panda will be receiving them in 3 to 4 weeks. Click the image below if you're interested in more awesome minis. When was this? This was on September 30th. 3 to 4 weeks. Panda's getting the miniatures. So end of October. I don't know how long it takes after that to get things shipped, but originally the date on this one is May 2022. So I don't know. Maybe there's nothing changing that yet. And if you're not sure what Hexplore is, yeah, it's just a cool adventure game with dry erase boards. Yeah, it's just a neat little like adventure system in a sandbox adventure game system in a box. That's really cool. But yeah, we got playthroughs on the channel of all the different previous chapters of it or iterations or whatever. And there's a campaign coming, Clicks Madness. Interesting. Announcing Hexplore at the Mountains of Godai. Our 5th title in the Hexplore gaming system now has a name and a home in the series. The Mountains of Godai will combine Eastern cultures and ancient Aztec culture for a one-of-a-kind tower defense game. They're going to change it up. Nice. Because, yeah, do we really need another Hexplore in the exact same kind of, like, pretty much similar mechanics, just a different theme on it? No, we don't need more. Fall of the Ancients. Tower defense game. Okay. Man, I really got to start reading these updates. I'm behind on everything. We won't reveal too much about the title yet, but it will contain the following elements. The game unfolds over the course of a year's worth of game time. Oh my god. All right. Players work in separate areas of the map at the beginning of the game to harvest components, then quickly reconnect as a group to face the oncoming hordes. Despite working apart from one another in the first phase, the game still maintains the Hexplore feel. Okay. The 5 elements, air, earth, fire, water, and aether, take center stage in this title. Players can build defensive structures, gather supplies, or face the oncoming hordes themselves. Players can attune elements to their heroes or to buildings for aided powers. Players can repair the tapestry or face the feathered serpent Jethai head-on. What does good eye mean? Isn't that like how Australians say like hello? I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, bad jokes. Good eye, mate. I'm probably even saying that wrong. Japanology they sent me to here. I clicked on a random link without checking what it was. The 5 elements in Japanese culture. Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, cool. So they're already teasing the next project, which usually they drop the next project after the previous one, like pretty much delivers. They have like a good cycle going there. Like as soon as the one project drops, you start playing it, then they're like, "Hey, we got another one right over here." They got a cycle going. Kind of like, come on. Except for I've had fun with this stuff so far. So I'm glad that they're changing it up, though. I'm glad that they're changing it up. And I can only imagine what they're going to try to do to combine some of the previous games with that tower defense and use some of the components. And if they try, like they do with the other ones, to have like these epic scenarios and stuff, that's going to be nuts. But yeah, and they're working on a whole campaign using the previous game stuff. So they're adding campaign mode to it for anyone who didn't know, which is neat. Something I hopefully we'll check out in the future. But we'll see. So There's no update I don't think on the shipping of this one. Another one I was looking at, the Seventh Citadel. This is one we backed before, which is kind of waiting on. So May 2022. I don't think there's any updates on delays or anything like that, but like it's still kind of far out, right? Like they don't have to update the schedule. Hold on. Bruno has finished the second threat in the base box and will be working on finalizing the world events you will encounter while exploring the collapsing lands that are not directly related to threat until the end of September, mid-October. Initial schedule. Sending it in production first quarter and May 2022. Yep, this is not happening. Yeah. We thought that the experience we gained working on the Seventh Continent would allow us to counterbalance the extra work involved with the changes and novelties brought by the Seventh Citadel, but we have to admit that we underestimated several parameters, including the complexity of the campaign structure, the quantity of text to be written, finally, the impact of the global pandemic. Our goal of going to production at the beginning of 2022 implied that we would have finished the design and blah, blah, blah by October 2021 at the latest. Since that's not... Okay, so updated. Oh, wow. So they're talking about like end of 2022. Possibly. But there are other delays will happen, I'm sure. Wow, so they're like a year... Basically like a year behind almost. Like, not really, but let's say delivery starts January and February then, right? Like you start getting your games. I don't know. All right. I'm just going to put January 2023 now. So I have lots of time to play the What Goes Up Must Come Down Seventh Continent stuff. Originally, I was going to play that all this year to prepare for this or in the beginning of next year. Now I probably have like all of 2022, probably even a few months into 2023 before I try to put Seventh Continent to bed before Seventh Citadel comes out. So yeah, so that's fine. Then The Witcher, Old World. How do I get there? This one. So I backed this one, and here's this thing. Okay, this is one I backed. And I'll be honest, this did not look like an amazing game. I'll be honest. And they were working with the community to try to make slight improvements. But to me, I'm still not sure on this one. This one I backed to kind of like get it, play it. Like the IP interests me a ton. Witcher's super cool. The idea of the game seemed okay. It didn't seem like the greatest board game ever, but it seems like it'll be okay. Like I'll play it a couple times maybe, and I don't know if it'll hold my attention after that. We'll see. But the idea was people are asking for it and were telling me that I should back it and I might be interested. So this is one that, you know, I'm not telling you go buy it. Please, like, you know, by no means. But I felt like giving it an opportunity. So I spent my own money. I'm backing it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to play it. And I'll give you my thoughts and we'll see how it goes. And we'll see how many playthroughs or how much time I put into it or not. And we'll go based on that. But I want to give it an opportunity, give it a chance. It seemed like there was something that could be there. I just, you know, there's like red flags with it and stuff like that. So I don't know. Hopefully it delivers. Hopefully, you know, all is well. And we'll see. But yeah, it didn't seem like the most amazing game. I'll be honest. It's just like, looked like it was trying to sell miniatures. But I did watch some gameplay. It looked like it could be fun. Like hopefully they make some changes and they make it a really great game. But we'll see. We'll see. I do want to try it. I'm excited for it. So the original June 2022 is this was coming. What is the now date? Is this the place to see updates? Yeah. Development update and changes on the map. They got external playtesters playing it. That's good to hear. I like to hear that. Like it looks like a pretty game on the table, you know? And it looks like it's got the presence and like it the idea is like I watched a full gameplay of this demo and everything to see the multiplayer stuff. And it looks like it would be a hit with my gaming group. I just hope it is. And it looks like they have all the ideas are there, the components are there. Like it looks like a game I would want on my table. But whether it's, just a flashy production with little substance and replayability, that's the thing. And it doesn't have to be a ton replayable. I'm just saying, like, a few bucks per player, per session. So if I play it a handful of times with different players and player counts, we play it on the channel and that kind of stuff, I feel like it could have its value. Like it doesn't need to have replayability where I have to play it like 20 times and it better feel fresh every time. That I don't expect, but as long as it's fun, a handful of times, and some players that I play with have fun with it, I'm okay. But yeah, but definitely a pretty game. But I don't know. I don't know. I just scrolled quick there, but so I don't know if there's been a change on the delivery on this one, but I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it at June 2022 for now. I'm sure as we get closer to some of these dates, they're going to start saying like, we need more money or there's a delay because the shipping costs are too high. So we'll see. But that's one that hopefully I'll play on the channel in the future. So if you're interested in that, obviously you know the deal. You know the deal. I'll definitely play it on the channel for sure. Like it's fantasy, it's adventure, it's multiplayer, competitive stuff. Should be fun. Has cooperative and stuff too, but we know it's a competitive game out here. And then Too Many Bones Unbreakable. I backed that one. I backed this one. A whole bunch of stuff I backed on here. But this obviously like just happened. So I just still have the original date of May 2022. And I don't think that has been pushed at all. But these guys are pretty good. I mean, it could get delayed a little bit, but I mean, they've been through this rodeo a bunch of times, so I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, that's another one I backed. So I don't want to get excited for this one because I feel like it won't be here in May because that seems like really fast, but they were pretty far on it supposedly. So if I have this one by the end of 2022, I'm going to be a happy guy. So that's that. So those are all the projects I could find by logging into all the different accounts on the different GameFound and Kickstarter and stuff that I could find that I had on the go. There might be other ones because sometimes publishers I talk with and I'm going to back something and then they just add me in a pledge. It happens. So I have other pledges of things I don't even remember to have to dig through emails that I have coming. Some of you guys can guess at what some of those are based on ones I did not mention that I'm excited about getting. But I'm not going to comment because then I don't know if they're actually going to show up or not. So unless I know something's coming, I usually don't like to talk about it. So I have games on my shelf upstairs or games that even have come in the mail or games I've played that originally I was excited for. And I just don't want to talk about and hype them up if I just don't get around to them because other things change, right? So so we'll just leave it at that. So that's just what's going on. So Heather's saying, did you ever look at Zerwaya? No, I have not. Let's check. What is this game? Again, I like how it's been. So don't assume I know all the Kickstarters. Like I said before, crowdfunding is something that I did early. I looked. There was a whole bunch of projects I started backing, even non-board game related projects on Kickstarter. Kickstarter's been around since like 2009. I started backing stuff in like 2011, 2012, I believe. And even board gaming stuff. So I've been around for a while backing board game projects and board game related projects, video game projects, like, software, all this kind of crazy stuff. And then to the point where I just got bored of it and got like, it was kind of just like a crappy pre-order system is how I started feeling it was, where like you weren't getting what you were promised. Things were not coming when they should. Some projects canceled and failed. Delivery timelines missed, pictures didn't match it was like, the burger picture in the restaurant doesn't match what arrives on your, in front of you to eat, that kind of feeling. And then I started realizing like a lot of projects started coming to retail anyway and at better prices. So, and most of the Kickstarter projects and pledge levels just had too much components in them, were filling up too much of my shelves, had too much content in it I never would get to and play. So I was good with retail boxes of things, even if that doesn't include the pretty metal coins and that kind of stuff. So I started going the route of just waiting. If something's that great, it'll show up at my local game store. If it doesn't, they'll probably have a second Kickstarter with like a forced expansion just to get back onto Kickstarter again. I'll grab it then, which I did for a few games. So that's the way I'm kind of treating it. I kind of passively care about crowdfunding. So do not assume I've looked at everything, because like I said, I totally lost faith in this stuff for a while and did not care. Because if a game is that great, I'll hear about it later when it's readily available and it'll get reprinted and it'll be in retail and that kind of stuff. It's not always the case. And if your game doesn't make it to retail and I don't see it, oh well. There's so many games to play. I will find another game. So anyways, that's why I haven't heard it. So adventure board game inspired by the Slavic myths. Become a hero, shape your own saga, save the gods from oblivion. Man, that sounds like a super similar tagline to another game that like a year ago somebody sent me information on. That's crazy. So this is Koliba Games. Doesn't say if it's their first project. They've created 2. Looks like they did Zerwia RPG 5th edition. I'm assuming it's like based off Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition or something. Is that what they say? Oh, it's a role-playing game for 5th edition set in... Oh, okay. So using like D&D 5th edition, I guess. Is that how that's what they're saying that for? I'm not an RPG guy, but... 188 backers only on a previous project, and this one 597. Last 150 copies of the game available on GameFound. Made in Poland. Man, so many cool games come out of Poland. Okay. So they like what is this? Why does the website look like this? What did they do here? Let me refresh that. I don't know what's going on. Okay, there we go. It just didn't load. I don't know what that was all about. But what is this game? Cooperative adventure board game for 1 to 4 players. We got muscular miniatures. Okay. 6 resin miniatures. That's weird. 4 double layer boards, 4 board tiles, bunch of cards. Okay, this is just a bunch of crap in the box. What about the game? Yep. Tell me all about your miniatures first. That's the most important thing, of course. That's how Kickstarter works, unfortunately. Dual layer boards. That's a thing, and it's such a small project to have dual layer boards. That's not a cheap, easy thing. Hopefully they're decent. Okay, did I scroll past gameplay and what this game is, or is it literally just telling me about everything in the box? So here's the stuff we unlocked. Junk in a box. Okay, this is like so... Yeah, here's the paper and plastic you'll get in the box. Like, that's great. Like, okay, this is how pretty our map looks. Okay. Oh, look, we got wooden components. Look we got these boards. Here's our cards. Here's our dice. Like, man, is this how, like, Kickstarter crowdfunding shoppers still are? Like, they still demand, like, to just see what comes in the box, and that's how they value something? I wish they listed, like, going to be play tested by in-house this many people, after this many people, to make sure it's a great game. We're going to work with the rule book, with the backers, to make sure the rule book is, like, legible and covers all the rules with the play testers, and make sure it's easy to learn. You know, we're going to spend this much time making a tutorial scenario to make sure you can get the game to the table easy. You know, like, put some of that down, that you're backing a project, like what you're paying for, like not just paying for art and cardboard and wood. Like, this is sad. Look at this. Added to every pledge. Like, back it. We give you more junk that you'll never play with. Oh my God. Yeah. This is an older one though, right? is a little bit older, but is this the way it's still going? Like, this is sad, to be honest. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Oh, this is just about the add-on. Like, why can't I click on the left side and go to gameplay? Or breakdown of project costs or time? Like, where's your project manager's, like, presentation? That's what they need to start doing, taking this stuff seriously. Not just selling toys and boxes full of components. Anyways, but it's supposedly what sells, but this obviously didn't work for this project because they didn't make a lot of money. Here in the ancient lands surrounding the Venedian, sorry, I can't say that, sea, unfinished tales await to be brought back from the oblivion. Many of them speak of wars and heroic deeds which these lands had witnessed, but the most important story of all is yours to tell. Indeed, you, as the descendants of the first Zuriwians, have your own heritage and important role to play, but beware, the power of oblivion is consuming these lands. The murk is lurking deep in the wilderness, spreading unnoticed in the human settlements. And so, as the world awakes to each new dawn under the watchful gaze of Sventovit, the father of the gods, each night is filled with terrifying screams from Vela, the underworld. Ugmors, the firstborn sons of Sventovid, are calling for their mother Nyx. The internal balance of the division wheel has been disturbed. Darkness is gradually engulfing the faces of the Almighty God, extinguishing all hope in the hearts of men. But who the heroes are, if not the ones to defeat, the ones who will save the world from a falling to oblivion. I don't know where I got that from. Okay. It's an adventure board game where players take on the role of the tribe heroes, striving to save the ancient realm from oblivion. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, how long did I scroll to get to, like, what is even the game kind of about from a high level? The world is original merging. I still don't know mechanics, and now they're telling me about replayability. Priorities, man, priorities. Okay, the principles. The core idea of our game are certain principles. There are more, but I will mention only those directly related to the topic. Immersion. Classic game board connected to the story, but also open to explore in many different ways. No scenario book, no app. Let the players tell the story. No traditional leveling system. Let the hero growth be the story itself. No common items, gold, and all that stuff to fill your backpack. Let's focus on epic aspect. Let the items have their own story. What the hell does all that mean? What does this mean? I don't know. Longsword +1 is just a better longsword. So why should we waste a whole card for it? Okay, here we go. I see. On the other end, Kliga, the Earthbound, is a sword that have been used to slay Azada, the godlike earth dragon, named Kadura. Okay, they are going the way Dark Souls does it. No, they're going the way Dark Souls does it. This is not bad. Okay, this is kind of cool. Okay, for anyone that doesn't know Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Sekiro, all this publisher From Software originally did a game with Sony, published a game called Demon Souls back in the day. They rebooted it at the launch of the PlayStation 5, or I don't know, what do you call that? A definitive edition, a reskin, upgrade, whatever, second edition, I don't know. But anyways, the idea in those Dark Souls games, which I love, is there is no like real cutscene stories like told to you straight in your face. You get it by talking to NPCs like old NES games and getting like just little lines of dialogue. And then you find items and spells and craft things. And in those items are descriptions describing what this ring is that you found and what god it fell off of, what boss dropped it. You know, maybe it was this character this spell was created for this purpose, or this sword was used for this, or made of this from this region. There's actually like lore videos, just remastered. Brian, hello, buddy. How's it going? So yeah, like Dark Souls does the storytelling the same way, right? Like where you find items, spells, talk to NPCs, and you have to put all the story together just from these little little drops, little breadcrumbs, little tidbits. It's not like thrown in your face with like overproduced cutscenes and you're just sitting there watching movies while you're waiting to play your game, which is kind of neat. So that's what they're trying to do here with this game, it sounds like. Unless I'm misunderstanding, but it seems pretty cool. But his owner died as well. If you find the sword, you can feel it's special. But how to discover its abilities? Who can know something about its story and legacy? And, as they say, every 1,000 years, the Azadas are reborning. And usually they remember everything. So there's no losing in the scenario. Okay, so that's not taking the Dark Souls route of things. Only consequences of not being successful against the opponent / objective carried to the next scenario. Okay, so like a fail forward system. No more dying during the game. Let the heroes be heroes. Let them sacrifice themselves in the crucial moments of the story instead. Okay, this does not sound bad. This sounds like cool game philosophy. Whether it works, I don't know. But this seems interesting. No miniatures without purpose. So not a stretch goal box full of junk, you're saying? Are you truly saying that? Only key characters important for gameplay or story-wise. So it's not the Zombicide box where there's like 25 of the same miniature, I think. The board, we want to have a beautiful board, arranging the board fragments. Okay, this sounds cool, but I don't know. Modular stories. We didn't want a digital application in our game either. We think that if players like it and want it, they will tell stories based on what we gave them in saga cards and scenarios, which is fine. Mechanics is deeply rooted in the theme of the game, which only makes storytelling easier. Interesting. Aereo tree. System of campaigns that we're preparing for you is also modular. Sorry, just scanning through. I'm just trying to... I don't know. It sounds neat. I don't know. So they have sagas. So you like work your way through a saga based on choices, go to the next card kind of, and then you're back to this one. Okay, kind of like a simplified little campaign system. That's neat. Nothing wrong with that. We are limited only by the time. There are no wrong decisions. We can choose new paths, new sagas. We are not limited by rules like a druid cannot use a bow or a wizard cannot wear an armor. Heroes are heroes, not just the frameworks of character classes. So something here, the Sventovid Stemfosid statue. Finally, it's impossible not to mention Sventovid statue movement and the Dawnstones. If you didn't read about them, we recommend our update about the Dawnstones. In various scenarios, you will often come across cards that modify their effect depending on which of the stones is active during the resolving. The rotation of the statue adds a bit of randomness to these modifiers, which can lead to interesting strategic situations, but unpredictable enough that they will still give a lot of fun, not to mention the fact that heroes can get these stones and take them away from the statue. And they have write-ups on the heroes. Oh, this is the real miniature, not a fake one. So they actually have made it and took pictures of it. Okay. Oh, here we go. Come on, look at how far down. How to play. Here we go. How to play videos. Come on, these should be way higher. Well, this guy's giving me the stink eye here. What's this all about? Oh, they got a rule book. Come on, why is this not at the top? I have to scroll through what comes in the box. No. But I know that's what sells these projects sometimes, right? When people don't have faith in them. Man, I don't know. Some of that cool tagline stuff, like the storytelling and all that, like the reason why they're doing things, that'd been cool right at the top. As like, pulling people in. I think maybe it scare people away. Maybe that's why they hit it. I don't know. Okay, so they have some kind of a rule book put together. More incoming. Okay. Yeah, see, like, man, I love when they at least have something. So a nerdy guy like me can actually find out, like, what mechanics are in the game, what's the turn structure, what are the actions. Then I can relate it to other games I played and kind of get an idea of what type of game this is. Because just general, like, marketing fluff of, like, adventure game, competitive, epic, hundreds of hours of gameplay. Like, is the gameplay loop worth 100 hours of my time? That's the real thing I need to know. Because you can say your campaign takes 130 hours, but if I lose interest after like 2 scenarios, that doesn't mean jack. So yeah. Overall flow, that's okay. This is stuff I would read if I was going to back it. This is one I want to look more into later. I'm going to add this because I like if it has a rule book I can kind of browse through and read some stuff. That's interesting. That's interesting to me. Okay. Let's add this to like I want to dig more into this like off stream another time, but I'm gonna keep my eye on this one. Put it on my interested for later list. Thank you, Heather, for that one. I think it was Heather that mentioned that one, right? Although it's like flown up in the chat here. Oh, what's Edgar saying? For me, if I don't see components and cool images on top, I don't really bother scrolling down. And this is what I'm saying. So Brian's agreeing too. This is what I'm saying. So to me, it's like everyone's different, right? But obviously Kickstarters have been around long enough that these people that run these, they see the stats. They know what works and what doesn't. And then you go look at the most successful projects and see how they did it, and people copy it, try it out, and you'll see projects fail and Kickstarters not do well. Then they come back later, you see them rework it to be more like other successful ones. It makes sense. That's fine. But I'm saying I used to be that way too. I 100% used to be that way. Brian knows. Brian used to sit beside me at work. We'd be looking at Kickstarters, and I'd be showing him, look at these freaking miniatures. Look at this cool game. And we're like, yeah, we're looking at all these command projects and stuff, just boxes full of miniatures. And you're just like, look how much you get for your money. Holy, it's amazing. But like, I'm looking at it back. I'm looking in the rearview mirror now going, wait, all those stretch goal boxes, those expansions for those games I bought in the all-in gameplay pledges, I never even got to those expansions. I never needed them in there. I played enough of the game, and now I moved on to other games. I'll never really go back. So why didn't I just wait till it was at retail and buy just the retail box? Or why didn't I back at the lowest pledge? Like, I would have been fine, still had just as much fun. I didn't need to go all crazy in. And I worked in retail, quick service restaurants and all this kind of stuff, and upselling. I know it's a tactic. It's a thing. Just get that little bit more money out. You already have them hooked. They got their wallet out in their hand. They got their credit card ready to tap it. Hey, would you like fries with that? Would you like to add a shake? Do you want to upsize it? All that upselling stuff, it's a trick just to get, it already got you spending money, just get a little bit more out of your dedicated customer, gets a little bit more money out of them, and, make up for the customers you didn't get, you know what I mean? Or the customers you lost, is like, pull more money out of the pockets of your customers. And you make, because especially when they're upselling you to items that have a high profit margin, like large size, that soft drink that costs them literally 10 cents to manufacture that drink. And instead of getting you to spend $1 on that drink, they got you now to spend $1.75, and it literally went from them spending 10 cents on producing it to 12 cents. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, Rory says it's called incremental sales. Yeah. Where I came from, McDonald's and that kind of stuff, it was called, marketing 101. Yes. It was called the upsell. It's all about the upsell. That's what we used to say back at the office was, yeah. At McDonald's, Tim Hortons, Burger King, all that stuff. Yeah, the upsell. All the upsell. Supersize it. Oh, but they got rid of that name. As soon as that documentary was in the works and rumor got out, I was working there at that time, and they were like, yeah, let's, we got to get rid of that name. Let's not call it supersize. We'll just call it large size it. And they got rid of all the supersize stuff. Took away all that marketing, that lingo, took it out of all the training materials, everything. It was like a panic. And you want the large fry with that? Can we offer you in our 2 apple pies for $1? Would you be interested in that? Like, it's just about, you have your wallet open now. You're about to tap your card. You're about to give us money. Why not just a little bit more money? And that's what the whole Kickstarter thing is, right? Why not just add one more add-on? Why not just add those metal coins? Why not just buy this to just increase that stretch goal, get more in your box? You know, it's going to be worth it. We're not going to mention that your shipping rate's going to go up a little bit too, but hey, that's beside the point. Yeah. So, so I understand when I scroll down and I'm seeing like, oh, okay, this is what I get extra. Okay, miniatures. Okay, like, yeah, it's materialistic. I guess. Yeah, I see it looks pretty, and I am that way. Like, this does help. All I'm saying for me is this can be further down on the site. I don't need to scroll down. Like, you know, they could have just shown a few of these components at the top to kind of like have like an enticing little image and like a link saying, you'll scroll down to see more components, but then get right into the taglines. Like look how far down it is. You know, this whole like, we don't want to put in where, like, see, look, I'm still going. Where were those taglines? Right here. Like the principles. Like those would be cool higher up, I think. No? I don't know. This is why I like GameFound better, though. I go to a GameFound. Where is a good GameFound? I go to GameFound. The Too Many Bones one was a good one, right? And I know it's my own personal thing. It's just the way I look at things now. I'm jaded. I know. But yeah. So I go here. Look at this on the left side. Like, they're not hiding anything. I love the way I can go shipping. How bad is the shipping, you know? Or like, how good is the shipping? It's right here. It's not buried down on purpose so no one sees it. You know, the risks and challenges, refunds and cancellation, all right here, clickable. You try to find that on a Kickstarter, your hand's going to hurt before you scroll far down. Your mouse is going to break before you get that far down, you know? You're going to swipe the protective layer off your phone screen by the time you get down to the bottom of a Kickstarter page. So I do like that stuff is not hidden. It's here in a nice like table of contents, basically. But even in the cool part on GameFound, they can get away with more of like what's in the box. Like it obviously works, right? Like you just need to show this. Like I feel like all they need to do is show on Kickstarter, GameFound, whatever. Just show a table spread of the game. Maybe some close-ups of some stuff like they did here. Okay, that's enough to see components. You're getting it all in one image. So even if I do scroll, I got that. But of course, they got to go into what's in the box to judge. Like, see, so it is a thing. Obviously, they know it. People just need to know that. And for me, Too Many Bones, I know the gameplay is good, so it's an expansion. It's not a great example because I already know, so it's just showing me what's in the box. That helps because I'm like, I know how the gameplay is. I don't need to know the twists in it. I know I'm going to love it, so I'm just buying the expansion. Just show me that I'm getting some decent stuff to buff up my game, you know? But you can't complain on GameFound as much because if I don't want to scroll through that, I can just go, how does it play? Boom. Why would I pledge now? Tell me your mission statements, you know? Boom. There you go. Man, like, yeah, this Kickstarter, like, I think Kickstarter has this, just nobody uses it on Kickstarter. But I could be wrong. But that's just what I'm talking about. But even this domain of Mirrors and Noctis, right? The Hexplore we were looking at on GameFound too. I think they did an okay job of using the table of contents too. I remember. Yeah, you want to see they did rewards right up top. So like what levels you'd back at are right here. Like what are they? Like get you the information right away. And you want to know more info about it? Boom. I guess right here. Here's what's in it, you know? Cool. And you want to find out about which volume's right for you? Oh, how to play. Boom, right here. Like, that's cool. I don't know. And then you can mix in product shots in there, right? I don't know. It's got to be a good balance of information and, you know, eye candy. Excuse me, sorry. That's just what I think. Can we entice you with breadsticks? Yes, Edgar. So were there any other campaigns that you guys brought up that I missed? Excuse me. I'm going to scroll back in the chat here. Oh, Yogi's mentioning Nemesis Lockdown. I didn't back it because I still hadn't played the first Nemesis. I talked about it back when it was a thing. Did that come out yet? There was pre-orders, and I know it's coming in stock at my local game store. A couple of my local game stores that I buy games from. So I wasn't too worried about it. Again, I'm late to the party on this Nemesis. We have it all painted. I have a beautiful eRaptor insert for it, and I have not played the game yet because we got it and we are gonna play it early 2020, and then this thing happened. You know, it involved coughing, and you know, some people started coughing, and you know, I don't know what happened after that. The world started to end or something, and then yeah, friends wouldn't come over and play board games with us. It's weird, weird how that worked. So yeah, we hopefully will bring it out on the channel. I'll probably fall in love with it, and then I'll just buy Nemesis Lockdown at retail if I feel like I need more. And I know it is standalone, but since I have not played Nemesis, again, you don't buy expansions or standalone secondary expansions for things you haven't even played yet. That's how I look at it. But I was trying to get Nemesis for like 2 years, I think, and finally it came in stock at retail. I grabbed it right away. I didn't even care about playing it right away. I just knew I wanted to play it eventually, and I knew if I didn't grab it, it would sell out and I wouldn't see it again. Because like whoever handles the retail in like Canada or North America, not the best at keeping that game in print. And then world shipping crisis and factory issues and all that made it even harder. So I'm glad I grabbed it when I did. Do I wish I've played it already? Not really. I'll play it when I play it. But it should still be great, or still should suck in my opinion. No matter if I played it a year ago or 2 years ago or tomorrow. So yeah, Nemesis Lockdown. No, I did not back it. I did not back it. Yeah, because I would just been sitting there collecting dust also, you know, when it came, because I still haven't played the other one. So these are the kind of little rules I make for myself. If I haven't played the first one, and supposedly that's an amazing game, I'm not going to gamble on a, you know, a second version, you know, unless the first one was gone and the only Nemesis Lockdown was the only way to play it. Then I would have backed that instead. If the first Nemesis never got printed again because of some licensing or something, I wouldn't have bought it on secondary market for some crazy amount. I would have just backed Nemesis Lockdown. But the fact that it showed up in retail before that, I just grabbed it. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh, Brian says the ISS Vanguard page. But that was on GameFound, right? That was on GameFound, I think. All right, let's quickly just see if there's any cool projects on GameFound. We'll start with GameFound. I don't even know if I'll go through Kickstarter. It just frustrates me the way it's structured. After you use GameFound a couple times, you're like, man, this is nice. This is nice to have like a crowdfunding website made just for gamers. Except for when you... Oh, maybe I just click on the G. All right. So tabletop gamers, more important projects right here. This one caught my eye. Wooden City Limited Edition. So I've decided I'm going to change the channel to building wooden vehicles. And we're going to have races. And Mel and I were going to race them. And yeah, that's what we're going to do now instead of streaming tabletop games. No, no excitement in the chat. What? Oh man, scratch that idea then. Just kidding, just kidding. All right, back. No more jokes, no more jokes. It's all serious business here. This is a meeting. Time is important. We only have so much time in the cafe before they kick us out. I'm only joking. Okay, Stephen Mill has an update on Nemesis Lockdown. It's on its way from China now. UK delivery is coming by rail. Oh no. Okay, cool. So it's made it to printing and it's already on its way. So it should show up in retail in the next few months. In Canada, I would hope. So hopefully I can get the first one played by then, and then maybe we can look at that one when it drops at retail, kind of thing. And if not, actually, it gives me time to see reviews and people's ratings and that kind of thing online, and what real players actually think about the game, what the common folk think, or people's opinions that I value, like some of you guys in the chat for sure, who have similar tastes. I want to see people's impressions of it. Question I want to know, is there a reason to own both Nemesis boxes, honestly? That's what I want to know. But we'll see. I gotta play the first one before I can make an educated choice. That's for sure. Okay, so what's this? Skyrim? Never heard of it. Just kidding. Spent hundreds of hours in Skyrim. And I don't remember which version because there's 60,000 re-releases of Skyrim. I think I have Skyrim installed on my fridge, I think. But you ever played? I think I played Skyrim on my Amazon Alexa. I don't remember which game I played, but definitely played a bunch of Skyrim. So who is this? Who is this? More. Oh, this company. I remember somebody mentioned this in the in our producer Discord, and I looked up this company. I could be wrong. What have they done before? I think, hold on. Let's do this. Here's where I look to see, like, who is this and what have they made before? Just to wonder if they are just going to spend all their money on the license and not enough money on the game. Game development. Let's see. What have you done? This the company? Homeworld? Dishonored? Kung Fu Panda? Oh man, they made Kung Fu Panda the game? Fallout? Yeah, okay, so what I did with these guys, hold on. Let's go here to BGG. Oh yeah, we're going to look at that too. Let's see if we can find them. Let's see if we can find them. Nope. Okay, let's go like this then. Skyrim. Is it this one? 2022, Skyrim the adventure game, Bethesda and Modifius. Okay. Linked games. All right. Let's do it by rank. So what's their most highest ranked best game they ever made according to the community? Or according to the hardcore board gamers who decide to rate some games and not others on Board Game Geek. Thunderbirds from 2015. It's ranked 1,000. Thunderbirds, man. That's a show I used to watch as a kid. I was fascinated by those little puppets or whatever they were. Okay. Okay. Let's check out the next game. Ranked 3,873. Fallout Wasteland Warfare. Okay. A more hardcore IP in the same vein. Video game. Kind of like Skyrim. It's a 3.87 complexity. Best with 1 to 2. Okay. So, it's a war game. Oh, I have seen this. I saw this at Gen Con before. And I was like, saw Fallout and was like, cool. And then realized it was like a tabletop war game, and that's not something I really play, but I'm pretty sure. Siege of the Citadel. Kung Fu Panda. Rangers of Shadow. Yeah, like, so what's this? Elder Scrolls Call to Arms. So they already made an Elder Scrolls game and it didn't do well? What is this? What is this? This is like their second time trying to make money off the license? Oh, was it an RPG? No. Yeah, it is. It's an RPG, right? No, it's a tabletop war game. Does anyone play this one? Is that any good? It's a miniature skirmish game. Has anyone played it? Is this good stuff? Is it a quality product? Because I bet you can determine whether you're going to get something good in the box or not, based on how they handled the license before. But maybe that didn't do well, or maybe it did do well, and they were like, "Yeah, we need to capitalize and make a different type of game based on the license." Oh, okay. They've done quite a few games, but again, I don't know. But they're good at RPGs, you guys are saying? Fallout does play really well, says John. Okay. Mark says, some other club do pretty good game. Played it. It's decent, says Brian. Not that one. BGG doesn't have. Oh, BGG doesn't have their RPGs. Okay, okay. So they make some good stuff, though, right? Like, they take it serious. This is the kind of thing I just want to know. Like, they don't have to have a bunch of amazing games that sold well, but the games had to, like, shows that they know how to make a game. Even if not everyone bought it, doesn't mean it's like a winner or a loser of a game. It just means they didn't have the marketing dollars to push it, right? Like, sometimes that's all that means. Where was I? Here. So here's also what I would look up is on Kickstarter. Let's go to Kickstarter. Starter. Can we find them? No, not just this project. Okay. So really, if they only run one other crowdfunding project, I don't believe that. Uh-oh. Still have not received my copy, and I've tried emailing support, and it's not a valid email. Sorry, did you try emailing via our web store? If not, please contact this. Okay. I usually do this if I'm not sure about a company, it's like their second project, third project, whatever. I go find their last project, and then I go in the comments. And sometimes you'll see people in here bitching and complaining about getting forgotten, being ignored. And yeah, one person, maybe they just didn't update their address. Not a bit. That's on the customer, right? Usually. But yeah, if you start seeing like lots of complaints, lots of people that didn't receive their game, or people complaining, that they didn't get what they paid for, sometimes that happens. It's just a little scary. Because then it's like, wait, you already moved on? Like you didn't like treat these customers with respect? I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, they got the Skyrim Elder Scrolls license. Okay, cool. I don't know. It's an adventure game. Okay. It's like it has little miniatures like War of the Ring style. Is that what they are? A cooperative or solo adventure board game. 2 huge campaigns. Another with Dawnguard expansion. 6 chapters. 3 more with Dawnguard expansion. 90 to 180 minutes per chapter. Up to 27 hours per playthrough. Okay, that's not bad. Like, it's not like excessively long, which is good nowadays. Like, it went from, I feel like in my ride through the hobby, I went from like being okay if a game was like pull it out once a month or every few months and just play it once. It's contained. You close it up, you throw it away, you move on to the next one and bring it back out later. Then they started releasing these legacy and story games and these campaign games and games that come with missions and stuff. And then I was like, man, it better have at least this many missions or this many hours of gameplay or the campaign better last this long. But then so many games started doing that, trying to outpace each other, that now I'm at the point where it's like, can you please make sure your campaign doesn't go longer than like 30 or 40 hours? Because after that, I'm going to be really bored with your game probably, and I won't want to keep playing. Because I want to try other games and play other games. So it's like, I feel like there's got to be this like middle ground, right? Where the game needs to be like its own standalone thing you can play. And if you're going to have campaigns, have them in chapters like this. This makes sense, right? Have them in chapters and make them like digestible and make your campaign not go on to the point where none of your player base is going to ever finish it. Because there's also the downside of marketing with that and trying to get people to back your next campaign. If they still not finished your first one, they're not going to care about how many hours are in your next one, right? Just the hardcores that actually had the time and finished it will, right? So there's that. And that's why I think why Frosthaven took so many years to come, and I think it was a good idea why we still don't have it yet. A lot of people, once Frosthaven was announced, I know a lot of people went back and tried to finish Gloomhaven, and now we have digital out, and people have a way to finish Gloomhaven before they get into Frosthaven. This is genius. But if they tried to announce Frosthaven right after like the second Gloomhaven Kickstarter, delivered, it wouldn't have done well, I don't think, because people would still be like, I haven't even finished Gloomhaven. Get out of here. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. So I'm kind of okay when they're like up to 27 hours. That seems pretty good. And I take longer to play games, so I mean that's fine. Like it would be scary if they were like 130 hours of gameplay. I'd be like, don't have time for that. Or I can make time for that, but then it's like, then I don't have time for the other stuff. Draw an event card each turn. Explore the caves, mines, tombs, or ruins. Okay, does this have... where was I on BGG? Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the base game. Oh, they don't have a weight yet. I wish the publisher would put like kind of like an estimated weight in there. Just so I know kind of like at a glance what type of game I'm getting into. Like I don't want Skyrim the party game. I also don't want Skyrim the, you know, university math exam. That I don't want either. So where's gameplay? Okay, rules introduction. Build your heroic blade. Play solo or with up to 3 friends. Friends not included. Explore a world on the brink of doom. Choose from 6 unique characters as part of the base game. And increase your selection by 4 with the Dawnguard expansion. And by 73 with the Kickstarter stretch goals. No, I'm just joking. Follow their unique playstyles and specializations or choose your own path to victory. Outfit your characters. Oh, you're talking my language. Start out with basic gear and progressively improve it. So this goes totally against that previous project, right? Where it's like sword +1, sword +2. As you find better weapons and armors, spells, and ancient artifacts. But I mean, it has to be like Skyrim, right? So it has to be like that. Tailor your combat style, matching your choices with a variety of skill upgrades that will give you advantages in battles to come. The world changes. Oh, it has like 7th Continent kind of stuff. The world changes. Our branching storyline system, built using a huge deck of over 600 numbered cards. And only 300 will have misprints and typos. In the core box, changes the game as you make choices, from letting a stronghold riot to saving the life of a Jarl. Each decision has consequences. Each choice you make, different events will unfold. Okay, a little bit of 7th Continent, little going through the card deck there, playing the librarian game. I like that. I like that. Take on loads of quests. Loads of quests. I do like the pretty little Skyrim map there. Like when you zoom out and go to the Skyrim map and like fast travel to somewhere. That's like what it reminds me of. That's cool. Engage in detailed chain storylines that evolve as you make choices, follow hundreds of different storylines, or just explore the world. Leveling up and finding more and more treasures. Succeeding gives you rewards, but if you fail, the story will continue, becoming more challenging. So I'm getting a little bit of a Hexplore vibe here. I'm getting a little bit of a Hexplore vibe here too, which is pretty cool. So you just kind of like wander around, you bump into things, story gets told like kind of through cards. And you kind of drive it as you want to drive it. So like the sandbox kind of feel to it, but there's like kind of like the open world, like kind of, you know, Breath of the Wild or whatever. You can always just go fight Ganon, but you can go wander and do whatever and become the Link you want to be, or just go fight Ganon naked with a tree branch, like, you know, whatever you want to do. That seems like it's kind of that, with like that, like, you know, main quest and then the whole side quest kind of mechanics. I guess Skyrim's kind of like that too, right? Same thing. Encounter various characters. Mysterious individuals await in cities and the wild. Immerse yourself in their stories. Giving them a helping hand leads to exciting side quests. Your choices will affect their fates and your fortune. So exciting side quests like what? Going and like killing some monster, attacking their sheep, stuff like that. Super exciting. As the world evolves, at the start of every turn, a new event takes place. Vampires and Daedra invade the 9 holds. Different factions request your assistance. World-spanning incidents modify the way you play the game. Ignore these events, and you'll risk being overrun with threat and watching the world crumble around you. If there is not a miniature of a guy with an arrow in the knee, I don't know. I can't back it, but there better be. All right, roaming monsters take the board. Event cards may trigger monsters that will move towards the heroes, blocking roads, or advance towards towns and strongholds, reducing your access to important resources. You'll need to defeat them before they unleash their full destructive power. Okay. Skyrim under threat. Several game effects could lead to the fall of a stronghold. Players need to keep an eye on threat levels and active dangers across the board. Completing quest lines can reduce threat levels and allow the world to breathe for a bit longer. Okay, dungeons change every time. Okay, so there's some randomization to it, right? Oh, there's some scaling to player level. I don't know. Is setup going to be a chore here? Is that what I'm getting from this? Oh, hold on. Mines, caves, derelict tombs, ancient ruins, and treacherous Dwemer cities, all filled with enemies and traps for you to conquer and valuable loot for you to claim. Each type of dungeon has its own set of foes that will try to vanquish you should you dare disrupt them. Anyone in the chat have any cool stuff to say about this project? I'm already interested because I'm a sucker for fantasy adventure games, as you guys know. But, I mean, it looks like, man. Yeah. Oh, they have a TTS demo, Brian? Brian says, based on the TTS demo, I don't think setup will be too bad. Okay, good to know, good to know. Again, you guys know I play games with like the worst setups in the world. As long as the gameplay feels like it is rich enough and worth the time of setup, I'm not going to rip on it for setup being too long. John Medany just backed it. All right. So when you get it, you tell me how good it is, and then I'll back it on the second crowdfunding campaign. I'm just kidding. I mean, I haven't even got into the weapons and the loot and stuff, but like, I don't know. You guys know I'm a sucker for this stuff. So like, do I think this is going to be the greatest game? Not yet. Do I think it's going to be decent? Probably. Do I want to try it? Yes. Am I a little worried that it's too much money and I won't get enough gameplay out of it because it may not be that great? Maybe. Just because it's like the unknown publisher, like that I've never played anything from. So I'm always a little worried. But if I never play stuff from a publisher that I've never played stuff from before, I'll never play other games, right? So it's like, I gotta gamble sometimes, you know? But I can reduce the gambling by waiting. This gets released. Other people play it. People play through on YouTube and stuff, the full final game, so I can see how turns work, how the game works. The rule book hopefully gets revealed in PDF form. I can look into it, and then maybe there's another chance to get in on it at a decent price. That's what I usually like to do when I'm unsure. And even better if I can get a box at retail for less than it was on Kickstarter. Sorry about the hacking here. Talking too much. Cold coffee. All right. So they're already like busting it out in separate things. Adventure game miniature set, adventure game Dawnguard expansion, From the Ashes expansion, and the adventure game. Oh boy. Oh, download the rulebook right here. Yes. Yes. No, I already discussed it, Brian. I just have lots of Tim Hortons mugs. I'm not even drinking Tim Hortons coffee, so I'm not sponsored, I promise. Oh, thank you, Mel. All right, got my throat lozenge ready to go. These things work wonders when talking on stream for a long time. And I am assuming they kill bacteria too. I don't know, I guess. Yes, yeah, Brian, you know, way too many, Tim's mugs for sure. That's why I said at the start of the stream, I was like, during these streams, I'm gonna be drinking coffee, and the mugs you may see might be related. But I have other mugs. I do have other mugs. It's just this, you remember this mug, Brian. You remember this. So I used to work with Brian, who's in the chat. And this one's the one with the rubber lid, that desk mug, which I bought because this keeps it like warm, and you can also take this in the car, and it keeps coffee hotter longer. It's kind of like a travel mug, but still made from ceramic. I like this one for streaming because I talk a lot and forget I have a drink, and then that's when I start hacking. But yeah. I just have a jug underneath the desk, Brian V, and that's how I take care of that problem. Just like a trucker. I'm just kidding. I should probably get a refill, but I keep thinking I'm going to end the stream soon, and then you guys get me onto something else distracting, and but that's what I expect this stream to be. Squirrel. So yeah. Okay. So I have way too many tabs open. Okay. So let me I just need to make a note about this game to look. I want to sit and like read the rule book. Look through it a little bit, laying back on the couch at some point. Probably won't be till like next week though. Kind of busy the next couple days, but oh yeah, I can just go right to the top, right? 16 days left, so I have time. And worst case I miss it, I have to late pledge it, whatever. Or I just wait till later. Again, too many games, not enough time. So where can I just grab the name of this? Right here. Elder Scrolls Skyrim. I want to make sure I have the right name, so when I'm Googling it, I don't look at the wrong game. Okay. Value. Okay. Let me just make note. Read rules. Watch gameplay. Okay. I made a note. Otherwise, I'll forget there's a rule book for this one. I'm going to do that for the Zerwia too. Okay. So just out of curiosity, to try to make my case to my financial advisor, aka my partner in crime, Mel, I just need to see what kind of money we're going into here. If I was to care. So I automatically go to gameplay tier because I don't need all the fluff. That I've learned. Don't need the fluff unless it helps with video. Keeping the game organized, like a playmat kind of stuff sometimes helps. Or some kind of token that allows people to follow along. Why is it scrolling? I'm not even touching anything. Maybe it was just loading slow? I don't know. Is the stream okay? Yeah, the stream's okay. I don't know what was just happening there. What is it doing that for? I'm telling you, it's scrolling on its own. Or is it like when I hover over certain things? Yeah, I don't know why it was doing that. Okay. Don't panic, Rob. Don't panic. Gameplay tier. Oh, right there. Why? Yeah, why did it do that? Okay, weird. Okay, maybe just stuff wasn't loaded yet. So how do I change this to be money I understand better? I mean, pounds, like I was good at the pound thing when I used to buy off UK web stores and stuff, but I haven't done it in a while. Where is it? I have to do it like on the main page? There was an easy way to do this before. I'm just trying to change the currency, and I probably scrolled past it. Oh, right here. US dollar. No, I'm going to do Canadian. I'm going to do Canadian, so I know. $1.4 million. All right. Okay, so let's see. Gameplay tier. Yeah, see, it did it again. I click gameplay tier, and somehow it just loads me to like the middle of a bunch of junk. I click it again, go nowhere. Deluxe tier, gameplay tier. Then it works. Nope. It's scrolling again on its own. Something is broken. It's scrolling by itself. That's so weird. I just want to see the price. Okay, deluxe tier. 373.2 Canadian. Okay. Again, I can't buy expansions. I haven't played your game yet. Not going to do it. Gameplay tier. but it's just full of expansions too. What's the difference? No minis? Approximately 189 US dollars. It's a lot. Includes the core game, both expansions, and all gameplay stretch goals. Okay. This pledge does not include shipping. You'll be asked to pay shipping after the campaign. See shipping sections for more details. So yeah, I have to read what's in these expansions to see if it's even worth my trouble, and maybe not even do that. So you do get some miniatures. It must be just like kind of like the Awaken Realm style, where you can replace some tokens or cards of the enemies and stuff with miniatures, maybe, which I don't need. I've learned. Okay, so the base game. Enough stuff to play with. Great. Oh, there's a 5 to 8 player expansion. Yeah, I don't need that. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Dawnguard expansion. Become a vampire or join the Dawnguard in a 3-chapter campaign. I don't know. Co-op or versus mode. Defend Castle Volkihar or Fort Dawnguard. Okay, who backed this and at what levels? Who backed this? Who was it who said they backed it just now? Where is it? John. John, what level did you back it at? What tier? Did you just go blindly and go all in deluxe? Or is there a reason why you backed one way or the other? I'm curious. What are you guys saying? Brian did the deluxe all in level. Okay. Why, Brian? Give me the tag. Give me the one-liner why you did that. Brian says you need the neoprene mat. Okay. Don't look, Rob. Don't look. Okay. Okay. John went all in. Okay. Okay. So you guys are just like you're just betting it all. Brian wanted the. Oh, you wanted the neoprene mat? Do I need to check this out? You got suckered by the mat? Oh no. Yeah, I see right there. I see it in the back. Oh no. Oh no. You can just add that on in a pledge manager later. You don't need to do it now. Yeah, that's like, see, it's the map of Skyrim, like looking beautiful. Like that would look awesome on a mat. You're right. All right. Wait, this item can't be added to your pledge separately? No, that's not right. That's only in that? No way. And Darius said, I went all in because it's Skyrim and I do not back many games. That's a great answer. Great answer. And I wish I was like that. I used to be that way, where I would only back like 1 or 2 board games a year, and I'd get that game and I'd play it. It's my only board game. Played it for months. But as you guys know, with YouTube and stuff, if I just played the same game for like a whole year, even if it was a lifestyle game, I don't feel like I'd have as many viewers as I do and wouldn't be doing this full time. So I have to mix it up sometimes. Also, I get bored with things, right? I wanna have new experiences. Part of this hobby, I love discovery. So I would rather try, a handful of games over the time and try a bit of it. And a few dive super deep into, but not all of them. Not all of them. I just love some games, like discovering new things and trying new things is cool. But just buying things and putting them on a shelf and then buying more things and putting them on a shelf and never opening them, that's the problem I'm trying to avoid. Including expansions. Plus, you get metal coins and minis. Okay. Hey, Reese. Good morning. Welcome. Reese, how are things going on your side of the world right now with like COVID and lockdowns and stuff like that? How are things going in Australia? It's Australia, right? Where you're at? Or is it New Zealand? It's one of the two. Just curious. I know last we were talking, yeah, it was like lockdowns were hitting again. Darius says only back two projects total, other being Frosthaven. Okay, that makes sense. Australia. Okay, cool. Yeah, how are things going right now, Reese? There. They gave a reasoning for the neoprene mat in one of the updates. Oh, that screams upsell to me, but you can always add large fries on the side of your order, so I don't know. That's weird. So where can I updates? Unlocks from the ashes in Nord Ventures Forth. Non-backer update. What's changed since day one? Whoa, whoa. Right in my face. Do you know which update that the mat thing was in? I could probably try to use the search function. That would probably work. Deluxe. Whoops. Deluxe. Playmat? What do they call it? What do they call it? I should have actually looked at project. Where was it? Deluxe tier. More info. They call it a neoprene game mat. Let's see if I can use that. Let's see if I can use this website properly, or if the come on. Oh, updates are right up here. Okay. No, right here. Nope, that didn't work. Unfortunately, oh, I can do advanced search. Is that just the date? Maybe if I take out neoprene. No. Awesome search function. Reese saying, I believe we're back in 1942 needing papers to move around Australia and only vaccinated can go to pubs, clubs, and all those things. That's like us here in Canada doing this kind of the same thing. So if unvaccinated like myself, not allowed to go anywhere from December 17th. Is that what they're doing? They're doing that here too, where like you need they have like an app and everything, proof of vaccination to get in places. But they were changing it to be like they were changing it to be businesses that only took the vaccinated or something could allow as many in as possible, but then they kind of scaled it back because cases started going up again. So but they were going to say like if a business wanted to allow unvaccinated, which is fine, they would just have to restrict how many are kind of there just to, you know, make sure the spread of COVID doesn't get out of control. Because there's only so many hospital beds, right? Australia is making the vaccination compulsory. Oh. Oh, you have to be vaccinated or else. Okay, that's taking it further than we have here. Oh, okay. Brian's saying you have to show ID. So this is in Canada. You have to show ID and proof of vaccination now. All restaurants and large public areas, you have to be vaccinated. Oh, okay, okay. I know I just carry around the app and like if somebody asks, I just show it, but oh, Austria, not Australia. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. John said Austria. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Austria just made vaccinations mandatory. My bad. I said Australia. That I was my bad. My bad. Sorry. 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 I misread that. I misread that. Yogi says, I have a great idea for a board game about hanging politicians. I just have to say, I'm glad I'm not in their shoes. That's all I have to say. I don't. Oh boy, to be put on that in that position. Oh man, no, thank you. Okay, so let's see if we can find. Hey, Uzman, I'm doing good. How are you? How are you? Control F and search. Do you think it would be like in the game mat? Space mat? No. Neoprene? No. No, I got nothing. So I have to dig through like all these updates, or it's something they don't want to be, you know. No. Maybe in the FAQ. Will there, if for retail, so this game is coming to retail. Okay, right there makes me not want to back it. I'll just wait for retail. But will there be any exclusive items not available in retail afterwards? The neoprene mat, metal coins, legendary encounters are limited to GameFound and other localization partners running pre-orders. So technically, yes, the neoprene mat, metal coins, and legendary stuff might be a pre-order bonus in your country later, maybe. Hmm. 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 Okay. Yeah, way too many updates. Yeah, don't worry about it, Brian. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I'll look into it later, the playmat stuff if I care. I'm just surprised it's not an add-on, and I think by the end of the campaign it probably will be, unless they said something that's like really against that. Um, Reese says, I was looking forward to seeing Welcome to On the Couch with Rob. LOL. Yeah, yeah. Others saying, Rob, would you reconsider Dice Throne with the new Marvel set coming out? I was looking into getting Dice Throne Adventures, but when I looked for it at my local game store, I find a Dice Throne stuff for the original Dice Throne, which I think you need some of that. I don't know. Dice Throne to me is confusing. I don't know. Like, I want to play the adventure game version. I don't care about the 1v1 or player versus player. And I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what I would have to buy. And it's not obvious. And when I look at my local game stores, I go to all their websites and it's like, they just have like these two faction versus packs, kind of like those, unmatched. And, yeah, it's just like, I don't want that. I don't want that. And I don't know if Dice Throne Adventures or whatever it was called, the like cooperative version, I don't know if that's something that's coming to retail or came to retail or I missed it or it's a Kickstarter only thing. I know nothing. I remember looking at it before and I just gave up. I was like, I don't care. You make it too hard. So Janet says you need at least two characters from the original Dice Throne. Okay, so I can get that. I can buy the two characters. There's season 1 or season 2 for Dice Throne Adventures. Oh, okay. But yeah, it didn't like, yeah, the original Dice Throne didn't appeal to me. I remember I looked into it when it was a thing on crowdfunding and was like, okay, the production, it looked kind of neat, but then I was like, oh, I don't need a game like fighting against one other player or whatever. I've been there, done that. I like card games like that. I like competitive card games, but I didn't really need that. More of that. But yeah, then people are saying Dice Throne Adventure is actually like kind of improved it and it's better and stuff. But like Yeah, I wish there was just some kind of core thing I could buy to just make it simple, but I don't see that yet. So I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, maybe I don't need a Marvel license on it though. No, no, no. I'm okay with the license they had, the fantasy stuff. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. So maybe I'll play Dice Run Adventures at some time when it's like easy to get, or maybe I don't know if it seems worth it. Edgar, we were just looking for. Brian was saying the playmat for this Elder Scrolls project. That's only included. It looks like it's only in the deluxe tier. And we were talking about the mat, and I was thinking like, oh, I just added to another pledge, but it says this item can't be added to your pledge separately. So it's looked like it's stuck in this deluxe all-in mode only. And he said there was an update explaining why they went that route, which I think is weird. But that's all. It's not a big deal, but to some it may be. But yeah, have this on my list to look into later. All right. So I'll look into this game a little more, but I mean, it looks interesting. We'll see. We will see. Stephen Mill asks, Robinson Crusoe backer, Rob? No, I didn't back anything Robinson Crusoe. I just bought like the retail version. I had like the old printing that I bought used, and then they came out with like a new version after I bought that. And then I got the like retail one. Then I found out the Kickstarter was pretty much the exact same stuff in the box that was in the retail one already, just with a new cover. So no, I didn't back any of that stuff. I didn't feel like there was value to me since I've only played like the first scenario of Robinson Crusoe, and I still should be playing more of it, but I haven't. So like I don't need to buy more in that game or related to that game until I play more of the base scenarios. That's just how I feel. It's an awesome game. It's an awesome game. I really liked it, but yeah, I'm not going to go overpaying for crowdfunding project stuff for a game I've like, only put a bunch of hours into, like not really much. I don't know. That's me though. Oh, Eric's asking, Rob, is Cloudspire base game enough to get a good feel for the game? Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of gameplay in that in the base game, but it depends if you're playing solo. Cloudspire is the one they reprinted it, right? So you just have to make sure here. You just have to make sure you're getting the latest printing, because there's a store in Canada that sells Chip Theory stuff, but I don't know if they have the new version, because they reprinted it and they added like a good tutorial for solo play and stuff like that in it. Yeah, second printing. Just make sure you get the second printing. It's just easier to get into the game. They rewrote the rule book. They updated some of the reference sheets and stuff. It's just a better quality product all around for learning it, because that was one of the roadblocks of the game, was learning it, was the huge. It took me forever to wrap my head around this game. But once I did, I loved it. Like I love this game. So yeah, there is a lot of game there, and it's not a cheap game, obviously. Like $130 US plus shipping, like it's a beast. There's a lot. And obviously it's better the more players you have to play with you to get like the full game experience going. I played it at 1, 2, and 3 players. The solo is a ton of content. They definitely catered to the solo player, but the multiplayer is like the main game was designed multiplayer. And it feels like you're getting a couple games in the box here, because there's even co-op stuff too. There's quite a bit of co-op content too, if you don't want to play player versus player. But it's basically like 3 games in one box if you're willing to play all 3 modes: player versus player, co-op, and solo. It's kind of neat. But there is a lot there. Like if you tried to play all the solo scenarios or all the co-op scenarios, or just played it a bunch of times with your buddies, like there's more than enough there to play lots and lots of hours of it. Yeah, and then you can decide on expansions later, but that's up to you. if you want to back it on a full in bundle or something. I don't even know if they have that on here, but yeah, I guess not. But yeah, you don't need like the Grige. You like I've never played with the Grige, and I played so many hours of the game and love it. Like I've played the new factions and stuff, right? I think I played both of those. Did I? I don't remember now. Oh man, I just have spent so many hours and stuff in this box that like I don't know. I don't know. As long as you get second printing, I think you're fine. I think you're fine, but I'll leave it up to you. If you don't have a way to play it with somebody else or go try it at a game store or play it at a buddy's house or something like that, then like yeah. I just worry telling someone to go all in on something that may not be for them. I would never do that. But it's a cool game. It's definitely its own unique beast, that's for sure. It's not just like more Too Many Bones or anything like that. It's its own thing. And just keep in mind the mat, this play mat that they display here, just keep in mind that multiplayer scenarios may fit on there, but it does not fit all the solo and co-op scenarios and stuff like that. There's some that go way bigger on your table than this, or go longer or weird orientations. So don't be fooled. Like if it bugs you that your play area might go off of the playmat, again, it's neoprene upon neoprene upon neoprene. So that's up to you. But yeah, don't be tricked by this little marketing image. That playmat is not big enough for every scenario in the game. That's for sure. So just a warning. If that bugs you, if it doesn't bug you, or you can just buy like 6 playmats and you're good. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. What else we got going on in the chat here? I'm gonna wrap this up in like the next like 15 minutes, I think, because then I gotta get ready for the next stream at 3 o'clock. Playing some Gloomhaven Digital, and I probably should eat something, go to the washroom, and all that kind of stuff. Kind of important, I guess. So Brian is asking, so current fave game, and what game are you most excited to play soon? I don't know. Current fave game. I don't know. Game I'm excited to play again that's been too long is Too Many Bones. Now we're on the chip theory talk here. I'm excited also to eventually hopefully try Burn Cycle. Another project by Chip Theory Games. But that's me. I don't know if that game's going to be great, but I'm excited to try it. It looked cool, but I could be wrong. Maybe it turns out to not be that great. I don't know. I am also excited for Frosthaven. I cannot wait to play that, and Oathsworn. I want to play Oathsworn. But these games just keep getting delayed and delayed and delayed. But play soon. I see Bob mentioning Hunter's AD 2114 or whatever. We have that now. I want to try it. It looks neat. So I'm kind of excited to play that. But Euthia is another game I cannot wait to start playing. I had so much fun with that before. But yeah, I don't know. Favorite game? Too Many Bones, Mage Knight. Those are great games. I don't know. I love those games, but I mean, yeah, there's too many great games, in my opinion, that I even have in my house, and just not enough time to give them all the attention I would like to. Because I'm sitting here streaming with you guys. Jeez. Gotta get my priorities straight. No, I'm just joking. Let's see. Chris is asking, does the Joining War hardcover add any story to the solo, or is it just lore and art? You'll have to look into them. I believe a bunch of those books have all the scenarios that come in the game, but put in story order, so you can play through them and experience the story. But then there is like lore and art books, I think. But I don't have any of those, so I don't know. Plus, I also have to give my voice a rest. Blah, blah, blah. Have a good one, Brian. Excuse me. So Bob, when is Hunters hitting the channel? I don't know. Probably in December, I would think. Yeah. I'm thinking December, maybe when Mel has some time off. We'll spend a day like cracking into it, learn how to play it, and then play it on the channel. I don't know how long it takes, actually. I'm not sure the game time on that one. And Euthia, I don't know. I'm still waiting on Dia Games to let me know. Oh, update 23 for for the mat, Edgar, you're a machine, man. Machine. Love it. All right. Update 23. Oh, okay. We had to go back multiple pages, I feel. Okay, one sec. I'll bring it up after I'm done scrolling. All right. Update 23. Even more unlocks and Dawn Guard chat. Neoprene map as an add-on. We had a sneaking suspicion that this would be asked for as an add-on from day one, and you all did not disappoint. At this point, we are afraid we won't be offering it during the campaign, though it might. Yes, see, sneaky FOMO, BS. Yes, like I said, this will be available in the Pledge Manager. It's stupid not to do that. What they're doing here is they don't want a bunch of people to back a lower pledge or just buy the base game, add on the neoprene mat, call it a day. So they're trying to upsell and sell more deluxe pledges. It's sneaky because they're trying to just make more money up front, because obviously their funding goal is not real and they need to actually make millions of dollars so that way they can produce this game and ship it to you at a reasonable price. So it makes sense. They're just trying to make more money with it. They're going to dangle it in front of you as something exclusive to the deluxe, but they're not going to say no to money. So people in the Pledge Manager later will be wanting to add it to any pledge, and they'll do that. But what they're trying to do is get more money up front while the campaign's going on to beef that number up to make the pledge, to make the campaign look super successful. They'll still make tons of money in the Pledge Manager after. But yeah, so it says why. When rolled, the mat fits really well into the deluxe tier's packaging, thus saving on shipping. However, when it's boxed and shipped by itself, the cost becomes massive. It could easily double shipping costs for some. We'd like to find a solution for this, and solutions take time. So for now, we're not going to put it up as an add-on. We'd hate for folks to pay now, not really realizing that it's going to accrue major shipping costs later in the spring. If a solution is found and we're able to change our stance, you'll certainly be the first to know. So what they're going to do is Pledge Manager, when they start to know shipping costs, when you add it as an add-on, you're going to see your shipping costs blow up, right? And they'll have that in there as a disclaimer probably. So that makes sense in theory. It makes sense. So it's going to be like, it's probably one of those things where they mathed it out and it's like, okay, if I do the base pledge, I add on a mat, then it's like I'm now paying the price with shipping that I would pay if I just backed the gameplay all in. So it's like, I might as well just do that instead, or the deluxe or whatever, you know? But there's more to it than just this. There's more to it than that. But anyways. Stephen Mills says, my wife is now away for the weekend. Mage Knight campaign starts tomorrow. Nice. Let's see, Jeff Jordan. I just got my copy of Hero Quest, teaching my kids this weekend. Have fun with that, Jeff. Yeah, I didn't back Hero Quest. That's not against. I don't have the nostalgia attachment. But if I had young children, yeah, I probably would have bought it. Just because like more of a basic kind of like, it's one of those 80s games, But that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad you're playing it with your kids, building them into eventual heavy board gamers. Yes. Bob, I'm playing Gloomhaven Digital. I'm joining K&G's campaign. Yeah, it's very simplistic, right? So for me now, I don't need something like Hero Quest. It's not something I'm looking for to add to the collection. And I never played it when I was a kid. I wish I did. But I didn't. So yeah, it's just not for me. But it's cool that people who have not been able to find that game, who want to play with their kids, and show them that game. Yeah, I'm glad it exists. That's cool. And Brian says, I'd imagine the mat will eventually come to retail too. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Being available at retail, as I bet non-board game players may buy it. Oh, maybe, yeah. Yeah, Jeff's saying, Hero Quest was my gateway game. Now I'm loving Gloomhaven. Exactly. That's beautiful. Let's see here. Anything else? So yeah, how these are going forward, I mean, we'll do this kind of stuff. I knew this would happen. I didn't even go to Kickstarter to look through like what's going on over there. I didn't even look at more than a couple GameFound things. But like, I thought today I'd be going through all this stuff. I appreciate you guys bringing some stuff up. But yeah, what we can do, I'll schedule one of these next week, and we'll just do this every week and kind of like just go with the flow and kind of look at what's new. It'll help me not miss out on certain crowdfunding projects, and we can discuss them and, look through them and stuff. And hopefully between now and the next episode, I'll read some of these rule books and kind of look into some of these projects more. And then I can have a better like opinion, or I'll let you guys know if I backed any of them or if I'm just gonna wait on them and stuff. I'm gonna keep like a little spreadsheet and just kind of like update it as I notice things and things come up, and it'll just be a place to kind of hang out and just talk about general stuff and crowdfunding, and like, if you guys notice anything or want to ask questions and that kind of stuff. Just so again, in the gameplay streams, we like, instead of going like, oh, that's cool, you're telling me about a Kickstarter not related to the game we're playing, I can't look it up right now because I don't want to interrupt, this game stream that people came for. We'll talk about it later. But then there's like, when is later? So at least now I have a way to talk about it on stream. We'll just have these kind of casual chats, look up some things and whatever. Not the most organized content, I'm so sorry, but we'll get there. We'll keep evolving it, I think. And if we need to break things out into separate streams and look at things like, then we do that. I don't know, but like if there's a specific project I want to make a stream for where it's like a launch of something exciting, that I'm interested in, we can do that. I'll do those separate if needed be. So yeah. But yeah. You're welcome, Brian. It'll be a change for you to play something offline. So for 3-frame chat. Darius says, should rename your stream to Rob's Café Coffee Crowdfunding. That okay, I can do that. I like it. I'm still open. I just jammed together the names of like some different things that were brought up on our Q&A. Like my original name was like Rob's Coffee and Crowdfunding, but then I was like, I don't want to just talk about crowdfunding. I want to talk about like retail games or just regular stuff, or chat about general board gaming industry stuff or stuff about the channel. For now, and just like kind of just see what's going on, because sometimes there'll be no crowdfunding projects that I care about at all, and it's like I don't want to like then not schedule an episode, then I'll stop doing it, So at least this way, if there's always something, like I just keep it more open. But I do like that. Rob's Cafe, coffee, crowdfunding, and chat. Except for don't come here expecting me to serve you coffee. I'm telling you, I don't work here. I don't work here. Rob 360, yeah. Because my head's on a swivel, and I'm like, I can't keep track of. There's too many things. Thank you, Darius. I'll look into that. Oh, man. Yeah, I need to go rest the throat. So I'm going to be back on in about an hour. Damn. I'll be back on an hour playing some Gloomhaven. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you all. Yeah, COVID. No. Definitely. I don't go out to get COVID. It's my throat from talking for 3 hours. Holy. I'm not drinking enough while I'm streaming. That's the other problem. Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you have any suggestions for what you want to talk about in the next episode, leave it down in the comments below of this one, and I'll look at it before we stream next week. I'll schedule next week one. I'll pick a day and kind of schedule it. So if you guys are interested in this kind of format, I'll see you in the next one. And if you have any crowdfunding projects or interesting board gaming industry news, just let me know and we can just discuss it. It won't always be at the same time. This won't always be scheduled at 11 a.m. on a Friday, or not even 11 a.m. on any day. I might do some in the evening. I had, who was it? Helen, one of our new producers, said she loves this idea. She just hopes I do some in the evening for Australia time purposes. So yeah, I will do that. I'll grab some decaf coffee, and Mel can join me. We can do some in the evening and just chat, kind of like Q&A style, but we'll actually like look into some things. And yeah, and then if I'm doing it while Mel's working, I'll just do these like kind of solo like this. But yeah, I'm leaving it open. It's not going to be exactly on the same day every week. It can't be, because all the way my other schedule and games and stuff work. my other streams work. So I'll just work it in around that, and yeah, we'll keep it going. So yeah, any suggestions or anything, leave them below in the comments. If you want to find your way back to the channel, best way is to subscribe. Hit the like button if you like this kind of stream. If you don't, hit the dislike button. And if we get enough of those, I'll just do more streams that get more like buttons. So yeah. And that's about it. So yeah. So I'll see you guys 3 p.m. Eastern for some Gloomhaven Digital, and then tomorrow noon Eastern for some more Arkham Horror, the living card game, Edge of the Earth campaign, and Sunday also noon Eastern to continue that campaign. Spoiler warning, of course. And yeah, if you're looking for other playthrough videos or anything related to some of these games we talked about, check the playlist section at youtube.com/Rob's Gaming Table. You can check that out. But thank you everyone for hanging out. And yeah, I'm sorry it's kind of like a all over the place kind of stream, but that's what it's here for. And until we figure out like the kind of format and footing, that's what it's going to be. Just a place to chat about games, projects, board gaming in general, what's going on with the channel, stuff like that. So I appreciate you guys hanging out and being part of the content, talking, chatting, interacting, and helping me out with this stuff. I much appreciate it. So it's just as much you guys as me. So can you find a place with better service? Kazumi. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching. See you guys in an hour. Bye-bye.